What up? What up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Momodu. This is We Own the City, Part 6. Let's get this thing started. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Hope you all had a good Memorial weekend. Make sure you hit that like button when you come in. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe. But also in the comments, rate what you think this episode was and put a slash and tell me what your overall rating for the whole series is, the whole 6 episodes. See what we got there. Let a few people come on in here. That's what it's all about. So we got people voting on was Sean Suiter a dirty cop? Right now it's 33, 33, 33. No one's too sure on if he was dirty or not. I don't know. But we're going to be doing a little bit of deep diving in on Sean also. You know, that's how we do. What's up, Shakar? Let a few more people come on in here. What's up, Kendall? What up, Kendall? Like I said, go ahead and rate the episode, put a slash, and then rate what you think the whole series was, the whole 6 episodes. Oh, jeez Louise. I know I got the recap up a little bit late today, but hey, it was a holiday and I wasn't doing a damn thing last night. I drank a little bit, you know what I'm saying, had some good food, relax, enjoy Memorial weekend. So I actually recorded episode 6 maybe an hour before I uploaded it. What's up, Miss Moon? Y'all know how it is. Give it a couple of minutes. Well, we see the whole theme of this show. Everybody's telling. It doesn't matter. Everybody is going to tell. When it comes down to it, shoot, let me tell you something. I got something to say. Kendall got an 8.59 in the series of 9. Yeah, I like how they did it. I like how they formed a story. They stuck with it. Every episode, it gave us exactly what we needed. There was a little bit of action, but it also gave us the backstories. Now, there's a whole lot of stuff that I haven't even covered in the breakdowns of each individual character, but there's a lot. Trust me, there is a lot. And then what is it? The Slow Hustle, the Sean Suiter. He has a documentary on HBO also. I'm gonna look at that. I'm gonna probably break that down. I don't know. This week is gonna be a little bit busy for me because we got an old school show coming back June 3rd, P Valley. You know what I'm saying? So we got that. Snitches are as should be the name of the show. Yeah, it was nothing but snitching in here. Everybody telling on everybody. It was a race to see who could get the most information off. Make sure you hit the like button. Like I said, go ahead and rate the episode and then rate the series for me. Let me see what you got. I want to see what you guys think about the whole series overall. All right, they starting to roll in now. What's up, Anna? said that everyone still got the same jail time. The lowest sentence was 7 years. What up, Stay Wavy? What up? What up, bro? Yeah, man. The time that they were getting, I'm looking at it like, that's all they were getting. They committing all kinds of fraud. Everybody should have got a minimum of 15 years. I don't ever want to see no one behind jail, but when it's a dirty cop, hey, dig it up, toss them in there, put them up under there. A dirty cop, they should get the worst charges. They should get the worst length of jail time also. Like once you swear in, it's all over with. It's over with now. You just swore in. That means I don't even know what the cops say. I swear to take this oath to be a police officer and do what the law says. Yeah, well, your ass is going to jail. Mama do 10. So who y'all want to start with today? Y'all know how it is. Y'all know how it is. Yeah, if you a cop and you do something like that, and it is multiple accounts, it should be like a 20-year sentence minimum, just because you're a cop and you knew better. You knew better. You went against that oath. And then anything on top of that, they can start tacking on years. You know what I'm saying? I'm not against a 25-year sentence. You know what I'm saying? I'm not against it, especially for dirty cops and everything they were doing. They were stealing hundreds of thousands. And then y'all thought Marilyn Mosby was bad. We found out the commissioner got fired, the deputy commissioner got fired, the mayor got fired. Well, the mayor went to prison, but everybody in Baltimore is crooked. If you want to be, if you want to listen, if you want to make something of yourself and throw it all away, move to Baltimore. Move to Baltimore. Get you some degrees. You know what I'm saying? Build up some stuff. Get things named after you. Then go out to Baltimore and be on politics. Join the police force or something. You can really throw away your life like that in Baltimore. Now, shout out to everybody who live in Baltimore. I fuck with people that live in Baltimore. I'm just saying the crooked politicians, Marilyn Mosby and Nick Mosby. I'm on y'all ass. September, that court case is coming up. But if you want to throw away everything you work for, Baltimore is the place to be. Baltimore is the place to be to throw away everything. But we're about to go ahead and get started. My name is Momodu J. This is We Own This City, Part 6, Episode 6, the finale on HBO Max, the live after show discussion. Once again, I'm Momodu J. This is a nice, friendly place here. You can talk about anything in the comments as long as you're respectful. For the live shows, there's no particular order. You talk about something. If that's what we own, we'll talk about it. We don't ask for donations here, but they are deeply appreciated. Cash App is at the bottom of the screen, MOEDOTJ, or you can hit the super chat. But if you don't want to donate, that is totally fine, and I respect it. All we ask for is a like over here, so make sure you hit that like button, and we're going to go ahead and jump into this. Who do you want to start with? Do you want to start with Shine, or do we want to start with Wayne Jenkins? Because those are the two primaries here. And I got another thing I'm going to point out to y'all this week. I got multiple rants of Erica not doing any work. Multiple rants. And what did we see this week? 6 episodes. Erica hasn't done anything. John is busting his ass. John is busting his ass working. Miss Moon said, Wayne, let's get him out to Wayne. All right, we're going to start with Wayne Jenkins, and I already had him loaded up. Now, what's up, Miles? I ain't even see you in here. Yeah, man, mayors are usually the most crookedest person. I mean, of course, you start going up the chain, you're going to see bigger, you know what I'm saying? You get into the governor, the senators, and all that. But that mayor, they get that little bit of power. It'd be a mayor of a city with like 5,000 people, and they acting a damn fool. But this mayor was the mayor of Baltimore. Tax fraud. And what did they get Marilyn Mosby for, the DA? Tax fraud. What did they get the deputy commissioner for? Tax fraud. Everybody was in on this. Everybody was in on it in Baltimore. What is this, 2015, 16? I was in the military at that time. So if it would have been between like 2003 and 2009, when I worked with the Department of Justice and the Department of Interior, I would have went out to Baltimore and got in on this action. They would have been like, we got to open. I'm like, okay, how much is it? Well, we got this unlimited overtime. I'm like, shit. At 22 years old, I'm like, all right, bet. But now I'm looking at it like, hell no. Hell no. And they were snitching and still got 7 and 8 years, 10 years. Fuck all that. But we're going to start with Wayne Jenkins. Now, if y'all were paying close attention, I don't know if y'all noticed this or not, but I'm not that good at math. But 2017 was what? 5 years ago? 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Yeah, 5 years ago, right? So when Wayne Jenkins came in here, watch the date. Exactly 5 years ago today. Let me see, where is it at? Exactly 5 years ago today, May 31st, 2017, Wayne Jenkins was in here talking to the DA. I don't know if y'all noticed that, but it was exactly 5 years ago. Wayne was in here talking. Well, at this point, Wayne wasn't doing any kind of talking. Wayne was in here thinking, you know what? I did some things. I was getting guns off the streets. And Wayne's like, look. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm innocent. I didn't plant no drugs on nobody. I didn't do none of that. Now, what the DA is trying to tell him is like, look, at this point, if there is a plea agreement, if you don't tell us something now, something that's going to lock the commissioner up, the deputy commissioner up, the mayor up, then Jenkins, you're a little bit too late. You see what I'm saying? The best deals go to the people that are snitching early. You get in there, as soon as you get in there, you start talking, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get that lower charge, especially if you could point to some people above you. Now, you got to understand, when you tell them on somebody, it's got to be bigger and better than you. They don't give a damn about you low. Y'all know that the low-level people like us, the no-level people, when we ain't in the streets, we ain't doing none of that nonsense. You can't tell on them. I can't go and tell that John next door, he illegally parks his motorcycle in the handicap parking spot. You see what I'm saying? That ain't gonna work. You gonna need something, especially if you Sergeant Wayne Jenkins, the golden boy, you gonna need some big hitters. You got to go in there and say, hey man, the commissioner was out there slinging drugs with me. Because whatever you snitch on at this point, Wayne, it ain't gonna matter. Because Momodu, I'm gonna go do 10. He didn't already told everything. Jamel sat down and said, I don't need no lawyer. I'm telling everything. Ward told everything. The only one that held it down and didn't tell anything was Herschel and Taylor. They both went to damn federal court. They both lost that shit. But Wayne is like, look, I don't know who planted those drugs, but I don't want to say it. That's because Wayne doesn't want to have that snitch jacket on him. You see what I'm saying? So he's like, I don't want to tell y'all I didn't plant the drugs. We know Sean didn't plant the drugs. It was the other white cop that showed up, but he's not going to tell on anybody because he's Wayne Jenkins. So he's like, you know what? I didn't do it. I don't want to tell you guys who did it right now. Leo stood up and said, well, that concludes this. Wayne said, concludes it. Yeah, Wayne, it's over with. You don't want to talk, then fuck it. What we in here for? We wasting time. I can go back to Jamel and get all the information about what happened. You know Jamel gonna tell it. Look at Erica. Even she don't even know the right questions to ask. And I was really listening to it and breaking it down. So Erica is the feds. Her partner is John, who used to be with the police force, and he was working directly up under her. So this is why John had more access to everything and knew exactly where to go, because she's a fed and she's just down here pretty much committing overtime fraud. Let me break that down to you. Erica was technically committing overtime fraud. She wasn't doing no work. John was doing all the work. John was riding around Baltimore. John had the connections with all the police officers. She was just there playing the flute. But we're going to get into that a little bit later on, because I think we didn't already went in on Erica too many episodes. But this is technically not doing a damn thing, Miss Erica. Shakara said, I don't know why he thought people wouldn't tell on him. Well, when we get to it, you remember when they were in the strip club, he was talking to him. He thought that they were tight knit. Even in the first episode where we seen him telling Jamel and them to be quiet. So the whole thing for Jenkins, how he's been thinking about it is, I put everybody in the place to succeed and win. They're not going to turn their back on me, because technically he was right. If all of them would have said they didn't know anything and they would have kept hush, they would have easily beat this. It would have been all of their words against all the suspects that were detained. But unfortunately, everybody went in there talking. And once you had 3 or 4 people start talking, and then you had people verifying what they said actually happened, it's over with. That's why they say you got to do your dirt by your lonely. Or you're going to be here with like Wayne Jenkins thinking, oh, no, my squad, they got my back. Hell no, they ain't got your back. Momodu and damn Jamel, they were telling on each other so fast. And what I just tell you, you can't tell on somebody that's on the same level on you. Got to tell up. These dudes were rushing to tell each other. They were jumping over each other to snitch. So you know they were telling on Wayne Jenkins. Wayne Jenkins thought he had Mo on his team. He thought I wasn't going to go in there and say nothing. I wouldn't even been jammed up in none of this because my name wouldn't have been brought up. They were like, Mo, he was out there. He ain't never take nothing. But goddamn, knowing Mo got big stacks. Mo got big stacks. So after that, we got Jenkins out here chasing after this young man. Now, this guy did have a gun. What do we see from Jenkins? He's wishy-washy. Sometimes he's abiding by the rule book. Sometimes he's doing his own play out the rule book. And in this instance, that's exactly what he did. What the rule book said, hey, man, there's a gun over there. Go find it. And then he's actually trying to help him. But we seen this with Jenkins earlier in the season. He tried to sit down with people. Herschel also took, I mean, not Herschel, but Allers also took this move. Because you remember it was Allers and Jenkins on top of him. And that Momodu and them said that they didn't know how to run it like Jenkins. So that's why he was sitting down with the guy on the curb when they was in the Impala, like, hey, man, just tell me what you got at the house. So Jenkins is thinking, if I can get some information from him, I can help him out. He can start his bail, and then he's going to cooperate a little bit more. But old buddy, he did what he was supposed to do. He got on the phone, said the police set me up. Jenkins was like, hey, man, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Look, Jenkins got the phone call for him. Why would you do that? Jenkins was upset when that happened. Hey, man, why? Why, man? He talking about, yeah, just call my girl. It's number 4 on the speed dial. I've never used speed dial. If I needed to call somebody, I just go into the recent call and I'll go and call them. But there's never been any reason that I needed someone's number on speed dial. There is no one that important that I need speed dial. Now, back in the day, if I needed to call home, I knew my mama number. My mama number been the same forever, so that was easy. Like, there's no one I need to speed dial for. Oh, shit, speed dial. I saved 1 second. I saved 1 second. Jamel and Momodu was telling because they were in their feelings about the money not being divided up amongst them fairly. Yeah, that's how it is. But I also think it was they didn't really trust Jenkins at this point where it's a federal investigation. Now, if it was just internal affairs, cool. But you see, they went through internal affairs, no problems. Jamel lied to internal affairs. He got off of that 2 year suspension. They put him in the gun trace task force. He didn't kill some people. Jenkins didn't kill some people. So as far as local PD and saying internal affairs, oh, they not worried about that. But this is the feds. We all know when the feds come, it's pretty much over. Now they have a high conviction rating, and as people talk, oh man, the feds they got a high conviction. The only reason they have a high conviction rating is because niggas fold and plead out. They ain't trying to do all that time. But most of the time, the feds ain't about to waste their money and resources to come and get you unless they got a solid case. So when they got in these feds, with Jenkins being at the top, oh, it's like Jenkins can get a shorter time. Now, if Jenkins was the first person to say something, Jenkins could have went in there and told on everybody up under him. And if he would have been able to turn in it was 8 members, 7 people. Oh, yeah, he good to go. But you can't be the last person and try to get in there and do any talking. So it was over with for Jenkins from the get-go. From the first episode, when we seen Momodu Gondo sit down, we was like, yep, it's over with. It's over with. Oh. So before we get to that, Jenkins' lawyer is looking at him in the eye. And he told him, listen, bruh, you need to plead out right now. right now. There's nothing else we can do, Jenkins. You need to plead. Everybody is talking. Everybody is talking. Whenever anyone looks like this, when you go home and you show your parents that report card, they look at that thing and they like, when your kids come home and they've been fucking up in school, when you are the lawyer for someone and you know they're going to get charged guilty, I'm not charged guilty, but they're going to be found guilty for everything they did. And they're talking about taking the stand and telling their story. When you know their story is going to get them hemmed up, and this is going to look bad on your resume. Oh, I was the lawyer for Wayne Jenkins, got 28 years. Like, that's going to look bad. I don't want this lawyer. You getting 28 years. You couldn't get a cop off. So he's looking at it like, Wayne, please, please. Everybody that talked. Bro, even the janitor said you came in one time and you stole some bleach out of the cleaning locker. Come on, Jenkins. It's over with, brother. It's over with. What's up, Linda? Jenkins in there talking about, I'm going to tell my story on the stand. Man, ain't nobody trying to hear that story, Jenkins. We didn't already heard the story from Jamel. We done heard the story from Gondo. We done heard the story from Ward. We about to bring Shine's ass in here. We also heard it from your old partner, what, Quinn, Swin, whatever his name is. We didn't heard the story of Wayne Jenkins by 5 people. Hell, even Momodu J was on YouTube breaking down what you were doing, why you were doing it. It's over with. It's over with. You're lucky if you come home before 70, brother. Because I'm pretty sure when you in there, it's going to be some time. Now, he'll probably come home like at 60... think it'd be like 66, 67. Whatever it is, you're going to be in there for a while, brother. You're going to be in there for a while. Yeah, Kendall. Jenkins' lawyer is out there looking like Jimmy Butler after he shot that 3-pointer. Like, God damn, I'm fucked up. Oh, man. Come on, man. I don't know what Jenkins was thinking about him going up on the stand and telling his side of the story. People are going to be listening to it. Jenkins is going to be on the stand. Yeah, well, I didn't plant those drugs. Yeah, there were some things going on in the gun trace task force, but hear me out. I had to do what we had to do out there. Now, I'm not saying what I did was right, but I'm not saying what I did was wrong either. Now, let me ask you guys something. Hypothetical question. What would you do if your back was against the wall? If you were out there with known drug dealers and killers, what would you do out there? The jury's over there listening like, Wayne, you ran a nigga over with your car, bruh. You ran a kid over with your car. You think we want to hear about some bullshit story or how hard it is out there, Wayne? You ran over somebody with a car and planted a BB gun. A BB, you couldn't even get a real gun. You planted a BB gun on somebody, and there was multiple cases. You about to be on that stand, niggas. You know how the jury ain't supposed to talk. Jury gonna be in there, guilty. Like, come on, Wayne. Even his lawyer's like, no, brother, no. Because if y'all notice, you see what the lawyer was like this. You know how we do. We jump around. We jump around. But watch this. The lawyer's like this. What's the first thing he said when they were going ahead and giving out them sentences? Wayne's up here talking about, Your Honor, we plead guilty. The judge is like, okay. And Wayne was like, well, I would like to say, and his lawyer said, nope, Your Honor. Wayne ain't doing no more talking. I'll take it for here. Wayne was about to try to tell that dumbass story on this. I won't even say on the stand. You over here getting sentenced. It's too late to tell this. You pled guilty. It's over. When you plead guilty, you don't take no stand. You're admitting guilt to everything that they put on that paper. Wayne talking about, well, Your Honor, he got the handcuffs on. I plead guilty, but I didn't plant them drugs. The lawyer like, hey, shut the hell up, Wayne. I got it. Your Honor, we understand the plea that we're into here in agreement of taking the 28 years, and we are guilty of everything we did, but we would like to note that we did not have anything to do with planting the drugs on that man. The lawyer's like, Wayne, I got it, bro. This is not the place for you to be talking. This ain't the training room. This ain't none of that, Wayne. Shut up. It's over with. I told your ass. I told you. What did I tell you? We were in here and I told your ass to start talking. I'm sure Wayne could have came up with anything on the commissioner, on anybody. What's up, Jasmine? I seen your message. I'm gonna respond back to you. I am gonna look at that documentary. But Wayne, we told you in the first scene, the DA said, "Hey, bro, it's a little late to be talking if we even offer you a plea agreement." So at that time, what they were trying to do was basically scare Wayne Jenkins. When they don't offer you that plea and they threatening you to take it to trial, that means they got more information on you. They trying to give you the larger years. But the reason they said that they didn't have a plea, like I said, is so Wayne to think, oh man, I can't plead. I got to take this to trial, meaning he was going to get hit with the big years. I'm talking about 40s, the 50s. He could have potentially got brought up for a murder. You know what I'm saying? It would have been all kinds of other nonsense. So he said, the hell with that. They eventually plead guilty, but that's because they couldn't get any more information. Shakara, I think the documentary is called the Slow Hustle. It's on HBO also, but it talks about Sean Shooter, and we're gonna get into him a little bit. We just gotta finish up our boy Wayne. And y'all thought I was playing? What happened? We see Wayne coming here, and he's a witness. He's doing all kinds of talking. He told the judge, "Yeah, we didn't have any probable cause, but we just talked to him willingly." The judge's like, okay, where was the other officers? And they surrounded the car. It's like, hey, bro, that's basically like detaining this man. You surrounded the car with officers. If you're gonna talk to him, we just need one officer at the window. Yes, sir. No, sir. Blah, blah, blah. Keep your hands where they can see it, preferably two on the steering wheel. You know what I'm saying? No sudden movement. No problem. Okay, yeah. Okay, well, I would like to. Okay, yeah. You know what I'm saying? You gotta keep them hands on there. But Wayne up here, he doing all kinds of talking. And they lost this case. The judge said, "Oh no, we throwing that out." And what did the lawyer tell Wayne? Wayne, you're useless. You're useless. You went up on the stand, running your mouth, thinking you knew everything, and you got to dismiss. Even Wayne looking like, damn, I did kind of mess up. Kendall, since it's federal, 25 years. I think he's only gonna have to do at least feds. I think you got to do 80 or 90. I can't remember. I think it's 80%. Federal prisoners have to serve 85% of the time. So yeah, Shakara said 85, eligible for parole in 2038. See, I didn't what up, Neek? Yeah, I didn't break down none of that because I didn't really care. As long as the motherfucker's in jail, who cares? That's it. Hey, this is who Wayne Jenkins is. Case closed, jail time. Daniel Herschel, case closed, jail time. Daniel Allers, case closed, jail time. Momodu Gondo, case closed, jail time. Jamel Ram, case closed, jail time. Maurice Taylor, case closed, jail time. Get him up out of here. Maurice Ward, no, it was Marcus Taylor, case closed, get him out of here. Maurice Ward, case closed, get him out of here. Told Jenkins, man, your ass is useless. Jenkins was so far in it, he was thinking, damn, man, these walls are closing in on me. Let me go. I'm quitting this. He went and told the lawyer, I'm quitting. The lawyer's like, nigga, I don't care. He was basically looking at him like, I don't believe anything you talking about, Jenkins. Nothing. Jenkins is trying to, saying he's trying to sound convincing. He's like, man, look, I'm done. I'm not arresting nobody no more. I'm not doing anything. He was like, what? Why are you telling me this for? Even the lieutenant was reading the paperwork talking about Wayne Jenkins, gun trace task force. Wayne's like, why are you reading all that? Because he trying to transfer out. He already knew that there was a federal investigation on him. He told everybody that it was going on, but he didn't give them the specifics and the details that they were looking at everybody. Wiretaps, everything. Wayne talking about, look, man, I just want to go do warrants. I want to get up out of here. He thinking if he can separate himself at this point, Wayne, it's over with. It's over with. And you remember they said when he went on leave, once he had his newborn, That's where the gun trace task force, everybody went to pretty much just chilling. Everybody was just sitting around, wasn't nobody doing nothing, and that's where it all fell apart. Because Wayne was out here wilding out in Baltimore, buying girls, buying hotels, living lavish. But Baltimore needed all boots on ground. They needed everybody out in the city. Come on now, y'all can hit that like button for me, man. Let's get that thing up to like at least 15. Come on now, work with your boy. Work it, JT, work it. So right after Jenkins goes and talks to the lawyer, I mean not the lawyer, but the lieutenant, he go to the strip club. I need the two best hitters I got, Rayum and Gondo. Listen up. Do you know what they tell her? They talking all that crap. The judge don't believe me. The lawyers are calling me dirty. The lieutenant on my back. Jamel's like, ain't you dirty? Even Gondo like, yeah, you the dirtiest of all of us, boss. Sometimes you gotta have that heart to heart with your boss. You gotta let him know, look, man. Hey, boss, I know you my boss, and with all due respect, because if you throw with all due respect in front of anything, you can be as disrespectful as possible. Like, with all due respect, Sergeant Jenkins, your ass is a crooked motherfucking cop. You see how you do that? You throw that with all due respect, and then most of the time you can get away with it. But they like, man, look, Jenkins, you are dirty. And Jenkins is trying to flip it like, look, hey man, stripper, get away from me. Get away from me. And we know that Jenkins loves him some black queens, right? We know he be at the strip club. All he do is go after the black strippers. The only white stripper he had, he said she smelled good to be white. But he even told the black girl this time, hey, get away from here. Get away from here. We don't want no strippers. We don't want no strippers right now. Gondo and Rayum is like, nigga, they after you. We want the strippers. Jenkins like, nah, man, look. It's just gonna be us three. We need to make a big hit. We can get $200,000 to $250,000. Now, Jamel, we always seen him, and I said he was gonna be the weakest link, but it turned out to be Maurice Ward. I always knew Jamel Rayum was gonna be the first person that was gonna flip. He just seemed like the weak one. But when he was in here, he heard 200,000 to 250,000. His whole demeanor changed a little bit. Like, man, I don't know about that. But Gondo was hearing 200,000 between all of just three of us. Now my numbers ain't right, but if we gonna do this the right way, it's looking like, let's just say it's an even 200,000, 100,000 to Jenkins, and 50 and 50 to us. That don't sound too bad. That don't sound too bad, because you knew if they were getting $200,000, Wayne Jenkins wasn't giving them. Wayne Jenkins wasn't giving them even amount. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't gonna be no even amount for everybody. Everybody ain't about to be eating. Cheryl said no strippers right now, says the married police officer. Well, you remember on training day when he told Jake, leave your wedding ring at home because that'll be the day you don't come home. They can use that against you. So when you on that clock, you got that badge on, you are no longer married. If you are married, it's married to the precinct. Jamel was like, man, what the hell? What the hell? Now, that's pretty much the end for Jenkins, other than everybody else's stories being connected to him. Now we know that he got sentenced. He was one of the first people we broke down, but he went in the courtroom. He pled guilty. But what did he do? He put everything on his partner and on Sean, because Sean was dead. But that's normally what most people do. If someone passes away, hey, Sean did that. Oh, that car wreck? Sean did that. You got to put everything on the other person. I mean, he pled guilty to something. So, I mean, I guess you could say justice is served a little bit, but was it really? No. And this right here, this woman right here, I don't know if y'all know her or not, but this is Jenkins' wife. And y'all know me doing a little bit of digging, right? Doing a little bit of digging, right? Her ass need to be in jail too. She was benefiting from all that money that Jenkins was stealing. We ain't forget about the house that Jenkins bought. We ain't forget about all the things that Jenkins was buying at that house with dirt and money, and you knew he wasn't clocking in them kind of dollars. These kind of cases, they need to lock the wife up too, or vice versa. They need to lock the husband up. If you're benefiting from this and you know that it's dirty money, oh, you got to go. Jenkins got 28. You need to do at least 3 to 5. 3 to 5. She talk about I love you. She ain't gonna love him when he get out. I tell you that. It sound good in that courtroom, but them lonely nights, that's gonna turn you all the way away. She about to go find. It's gonna be another sucker. It's gonna be another police officer. That's I'm doing things the right way. No, she just got messed up by Wayne Jenkins. He's gonna date her. He's gonna probably marry her. He's gonna take in that criminal kid also. He's gonna marry this crook, and he's gonna think that he didn't change his life around. Like, nah, brother, that's Wayne Jenkins' wife. Any one of these criminals that got locked up, you don't want nothing to do with their wives or their girlfriends. Like, I'm not talking to Gondo's girlfriend. I'm not talking to Jamel's girlfriend. Well, Jamel's girl, we don't know who she was, but we need to lock your ass up, Miss Jenkins. I'm gonna look for you too. I'm gonna look you up, and I'm gonna tell you need to turn yourself in. Declining to cooperate in any way that investigators could credit, Wayne Jenkins is serving 25 years in federal prison. I kept saying 28, but it's 25. Kendall talk about she gonna stand by her man. Yeah, she gonna stand by her man, all right, until you hear boom, 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 boom. Open up, FBI. Shakara said all their wives were. Yeah, they were all benefiting from that. They were all spending that money. Yeah, Trill, the kid a criminal too. 2 Chainz told me you were a mouse because your daddy was born a rat. No, you were born a rat because your daddy was a mouse. Yeah, y'all know how it is. Oh yeah, Neek, you going down. That picture you got right there on the YouTube, the holding the hair up. Yeah, you gonna be holding up the chains. You going down with your husband. You going down. Everybody got to go to jail in that household. We got to put this kid. We got to put the kid with the grandma because the mom is crooked, the daddy in jail. Oh yeah, this kid don't need to be around this family. Maji said, I thought she was a non-factor since he was in the hotel room with the black hooks. But I mean, she didn't know nothing about that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Wayne just needed some time away from the kid. You know what I'm saying? The kid and the family. So he had to get up out of there. But you see, I like how they didn't show these scenes back then. We were wondering what did Jenkins find in that closet. Well, when they went in there, it was all that money. All that money. Now, this gentleman, he was snitching too, talking about, man, Jenkins said, if I got a cousin that sell dope, can I put him in touch with him? Like, Jenkins, hell no. You already know what Jenkins was planning. Hey, if you got a cousin that sell drugs, let's sell these drugs to your cousin. Let him sell them on the streets. And then they ain't going to do nothing but go rhyme your cousin. Hell no. They done took all kind of money. Now, I got something for you. Now, let me see something. I'm gonna show it after this. So Jenkins is on the yard and he sees like it ain't gonna be easy like he thought it was. You got niggas with the broom, the mop talking about, hey, ain't you that dirty cop? Jenkins got that damn shirt tucked all the way in, scared as hell. Like, dog, you gotta, hey, pull that out a little bit. You don't just tuck that whole thing in there. There ain't enough room in that pants. That's why his shirt is so puffy up front. You got, hey, man, pull that out a little bit, Jenkins. You walking through here like you tough guy. The nigga with the mop is checking you. You see, Jenkins ain't say nothing until the cops grabbed his arm. He like, ain't you that dirty cop from Baltimore? Jenkins turned around. He ain't say nothing. The cop touched him. He's like, yeah, man, you better watch it. Jenkins, get your weak ass out of here. We know you fraud. Little dude's checking you. You go out in that yard now. Everybody talk about, hey, ain't that dirty cop over there, man? Fuck you, man. That shit real now, Jenkins. You out here. You were not prepared for that. You were not prepared for that at all. Uh, G Wildor, G Wildor. I think that's how you say it. Yeah, most of them, the federal prisons, they're in like, I won't say mental wards, but they're not in like regular prisons. Most of them are there. They're in like a protective custody type prison. So they definitely were about to put them in no general population with none of the crooks, especially being a dirty cop. But you see how the show went full circle though? This takes us back to the first thing we seen. We got Herschel in there. Sean was in there. Rayum, Gondo. They all in here listening to Wayne Jenkins. You remember when we first started off, we were thinking Wayne Jenkins might be a good cop. Yeah, we got to fight a little bit in the streets, but getting guns off the streets is what we do. Everybody's listening like, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Now, me personally, I wouldn't be sitting in 1, 2, 3, 4. I wouldn't be sitting in these first 4 rows. These first 16, nah. I'm back here in row 17 through 20. Well, 17 through 24. That's where I'm sitting at, back here. Preferably back like right here where you can't see me. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't ever want to be called on. So that's where I'll be sitting there right there. But that's real live. Look at me as a black person. But we thinking Jenkins is good, man. Herschel's like, hell yeah, man. Jenkins for president. Jenkins for president. I've never, ever clapped this serious. I've never clapped this serious to anything the commanders will say. We're going to go out there. We're going to fight. We're going to win. I'm like, man, God damn, it's hot out this motherfucker. You back there clapping all regular and stuff. Jamel's up there like, ooh, we go do this job. Like, hey, you taking this job a little bit too serious. We're just a gun trace task force. All we do is get an illegal gun off the street. He talk about, ooh, we about to get out here with Sergeant Jenkins. Hell no. I'm right back here with the little, all right, do we get a break after this? Or are we going straight to the patrol cars and hitting the streets? Like, what are we doing after this? But everything that Jenkins just told us, it wasn't telling us how to do the job. It was just a hype speech. I don't need a hype speech. I got that coming out the academy. We in here, we fight. He got like the seizures and everything, all the money that they were getting up on the board. 2.3 million. I don't care. I don't get to touch that 2.3. I don't get none of that money. I'm not about to. Let's see. Sergeant Wayne Jenkins, gun trace task force stats. Let me see. I gotta get a little bit closer. But they in here listening attentively. Sean laughing around thinking it's a joke. Joe dirty cop ass. We're gonna get on to you next, Sean. We didn't forget about you. We did not forget about you. What up, Kobe TV? Y'all make sure y'all sub to my boy's channel. You up and coming. Sergeant Wayne Jenkins, gun trace task force. June 1st to present. Gun seized 132. What is this? CDs seized? I don't know what CDs is. What CD stand for, y'all? CDS stand for CDS seized. 2.4 million cash and property. We don't know. Felony cases. SS warrant 45. So they got these stats up here. If you wanted to be professional, you would have printed these out and handed them out so we can individually look at them. I can go post one up in my locker. You know what I'm saying? Just so I can see what we trying to do, what the end goal is. Jenkins is like, I'm the man, baby. I'm the man. Everybody in here just clapping and shit. Like, come on, man. This shit ain't that serious, Jenkins. Look at Ray just clapping his hands. And the last thing we see is Gondo out here. I mean, not Gondo, but Jenkins out here just looking around at the yard like, damn. It's going to be a long ass 25 years. I tell you that. I'm thinking about everything I did in the last 25 years. Hell, the last 2 years during the pandemic was the longest 2 years I can remember. And I don't even know what I did half the time. But to be like Jenkins out here, oh, hell no. Now, I do got something for y'all. Let me see. Make sure y'all hit that. Oh, what up, Brillo? Make sure y'all follow my boy Brillo. He ain't here. You know what I'm saying? I can easily say he's one of the up and coming hardest workers on YouTube, especially with the breakdowns and all the shows. Make sure y'all hit that like button though. Come on now. I asked for 10 likes. That's all I asked for. I know y'all don't really fuck with We Own This City, but come on now. Come on now. I'm going above and beyond. I tell y'all I don't never go above and beyond, but I do it for y'all. Come on, hit that like button real quick.
Prosecutors released some of these images, which included
now, you remember, before we get into everybody else, you remember we had the robbery at the house where they broke into the safe. Well, we actually got some footage for it. I was going to break it down into his own show, but I was like, let me just go ahead and bring this onto the live and show y'all this, because the next thing I'm going to do with the show is probably going to be Sean's little, his little story. Shout out to Brillo with that $10. My guy was good. All them boys got big time. Hey, man, they could have got way more time than that, though. Like, to be honest, 25 years for Jenkins. Come on, man. Rayum had murders. Rayum should at least got 50. But shout out to Brillo for that 10, though. So I got the news article from what actually happened. So I'm going to play this real quick, because it has to do with everything, like I said, I was going to put it in its own video, but I'll just throw it on the live for y'all.
Prosecutors released some of these images, which included a sledgehammer and a machete, and it showed the steps that some of these former officers took in order to get these very dangerous weapons. A sledgehammer, grappling hook, even a machete. For the first time, the public is getting a look at weapons former members of the gun trace task force used to intimidate citizens and steal stacks of cash and personal items. Prosecutors say the unit's supervisor, Sergeant Wayne Jenkins, used the middleman to buy the items on Amazon. That intermediary, a bail bondsman, Donald Stepp, in the middle, was so close with Jenkins, he's seen here posing with the sergeant's service weapon. And when the Ravens last made it to the Super Bowl, they were there together.
The Bells bondsman was so close, him and Jenkins, they were friends. These fools went to the Super Bowl together. You see, they didn't put all that in the show. But they went to the Super Bowl together. These two were so close, Jenkins gave him his Baltimore Police Department issued firearm. He over here posing with the vest on. A Bells bondsman. Come on, man. Come on now. Jenkins is wilding out. Why was there even that picture? Why was there even that picture of you holding a gun? Like, nigga, you're a Bells bondsman. You got your own guns. I don't know.
Stepp would later testify that he went into business with Wayne Jenkins. The sergeant provided drugs, and Stepp sold them, an arrangement that made him more than $1 million. Newly released videos show the officers pretending to open the safe for the first time.
Hey, Sarge. Hey, come downstairs right quick. They about to get open.
But in fact, prosecutors say they'd already gotten in, took $100,000 for themselves, then pretended this was the first time they laid eyes on the cash.
Nobody touches you. I'm saying right now. Nobody touches the camera.
In a separate...
Bruh. These fools were really doing dumb shit like that. Now, you remember, Rayum was like, the footage of them fake breaking into the safe was enough to bust a case open. Pretty much saying that if Jenkins was to show that tape and then tell them what really happened, everything would have just been, thrown out, because their proof wouldn't have been there. But these fools really recorded that. They took $100,000 out the safe and kept it for themselves. I'm like, oh my goodness. This has to be the worst group of people. We talk about everyone getting in trouble nowadays for social media. This is 2015-16. Stepp, the damn Bells bondsman, he had a picture with the firearm and the vest on. These fools recorded them fake breaking into a safe. All of this comes to back you up. Leave the phone at the house whenever you do some dumb shit. If you're going out and doing dumb shit, I'm not encouraging you or telling you to do dumb shit, but don't do dumb shit with your phone. And yes, it did say they had a grappling hook. A grappling hook for what? I know them niggas wasn't about to scale no apartment complexes, and it ain't. That grappling hook was not what you see on a video game. It's not Batman's shoot that thing up there. That's a grappling hook. You got to take that motherfucker, swing that shit, and throw it up there. Then you got to be properly equipped to walk up a wall. I don't know if y'all have ever done that, but just walking up a wall like you see in TV, it don't work like that. Them big raggedy ass boots you got on, you about to be slipping this shit. You got to have some of these pythons on you to get up that hill. You know what I'm saying? You ain't just climbing up no wall with no goddamn grappling hook. I don't know if y'all climbed up in gym back when we were little kids, you had to climb the rope. Yeah. Well, if you go back to C.A. Burke, my elementary, you'll see my name up on the wall, J. Moore. And it said I went up to that thing 11 times. 11 times. Up, touch the bear, down. Up, touch the bear 11 times. And let me tell you, I did that shit at the age of 10. This was after I got out of my car wreck. So you know I was putting in that work. But you ain't scaling no building with all of this gear on, your vest. Why do y'all have a fucking grappling hook? Who do y'all think y'all are with a grappling hook? You talking about stand back, Jenkins? You throw that thing up there, it ain't about to connect on nothing that's sturdy enough to pull your ass up there. What is it? All of us are going up this thing? We ain't the SWAT team. Hell, we could barely take over a person in a regular car. We talking about scaling a building? Come on, man. The dumbest shit I've ever heard. A grappling hook. Who? Jenkins, why is there a grappling hook in the trunk? Oh man, you know, man, I was gonna like, no, nigga. With all due respect, sir, you need to get rid of this shit. We had a crowbar. What do we got a crowbar for? We police officers. What do we have a grappling hook for? Like, why is there just a random hammer in the trunk? Jenkins, with all due respect, sir, you gonna get us fucked up and caught, bro.
Prosecutors say officers left the scene after a car they were chasing slammed into another vehicle and injured people. They were caught on an FBI wiretap plotting a cover-up.
Well, how about we just go on scene and just act like, oh, is everything okay? You get what I'm saying?
All 8 members.
They were all on wiretaps. They talking about, man, why don't we just go on the scene? Because they ran into somebody, hit them, and then they tried to arrest them. Now they talking about, why don't we just show back up on scene and say, oh, is everything all right? Is nigga, there's nothing you can do, man. And they listening to you on the wiretap talking about going back and asking, is everything all right? No, nigga, y'all hit us. We didn't hit ourselves. We didn't run into somebody else. It wasn't just an accident on the road. Y'all hit us. Talk about, is everything all right? No, everything ain't right. All right, nigga, my leg hurt. My leg, nigga, I was just in a car wreck. I wasn't even in the car wreck. I got hit by you. No, everything ain't all right, nigga. I can't walk. I can't move. And then y'all planting drugs probably. Oh, hell no, everything ain't all right. And get that grappling hook away from me. What y'all doing with that out here at this crime scene anyway? Talking about, oh, we got this grappling hook. Nigga, for what? Y'all are the gun trace task force. Nothing in y'all description says climbing walls. Nothing says scaling walls or coming down upside down and breaking through no glass. There should be no grappling hook here. That was Wayne Jenkins going above and beyond trying to do some dumb shit.
Have been convicted on federal robbery and racketeering charges, and the trial exposed corruption allegations against other officers who were never charged. Police formed a new unit to investigate those claims.
Where does it stop? How many officers? How many people's convictions are called into question for these officers' brazen and really egregious and horrible criminal conduct?
The convicted former cops face anywhere from 20 to 60 years in prison.
The dumbest shit ever, bro. The dumbest stuff ever. I had to show y'all that, man. Like, so them breaking into that safe, it was real. It was real. Talk about, hey, don't nobody touch it. If it's anything over $5,000, we need to report it. Nigga, y'all took $100,000 out of there. Like my boy Trill said, Batman. Y'all done took all this money up out of here. And the first thing y'all was thinking, let me go buy a grappling hook. Now we're gonna get on the Bells Bosman, Steph, whatever the hell his name is. Because one thing about him, he didn't give no fucks. They came and arrested him. He was over here cleaning up, you know what I'm saying, getting the, I don't know what these parts on the bike is called, but shit, he over here. He's like, yeah, man, what's going on? The feds, he like, all right, you know what? Take me in. Let me tell y'all something. Right when they came in, oh yeah, me and Jenkins, we friends. But I know y'all ain't here for that. This dude got talking so quick, he was like, Jenkins, my boy Jenkins, yeah, man, he brought me over $1 million worth of drugs. I'm talking about all prescripts. I'm talking about pure profit. Now, this is $1 million. On top of that, 15,000 a month we were already talking about. You remember that coke that he had? There's 3 keys that he was supposed to be giving to Jenkins. 15,000 a month, and he said they were going to take it slow. But what was the thing that Jenkins did? He brought all the drugs there. Now Stepp told him, don't bring me all of this. What is all this? And that's why he said it was more than he could sell. So that's one reason he told, because he said, Jenkins, don't bring me none of this nonsense. And Jenkins did it anyway. So that's why he said, oh, y'all got all the drugs and stuff. Yeah, but y'all missed the 3 keys of coke. Yeah, the radiator. Yeah. They're like, what? We did. Of course, John is doing all the talking. Erica's just sitting here listening, hands crossed, ain't getting no information. John's asking everything that needs to be asked. This other guy, he's like, damn, we missed all that money? Dog, this is ridiculous. Jenkins had $1 million worth of prescription drugs that he gave to him to go and sell. Jenkins also had drugs and he was trying to give to officers to give to their cousins to sell. Gondo and Jamel was like, oh, when it came to drugs, everyone else threw it out. Man, they said Wayne Jenkins was in there with his feet kicked up, rebagging coke. Like, Jenkins, what the hell, bro? You in the office rebagging coke to go put on the streets? You making 15,000 a month from the Bells Bosman Steph. He like, let's just keep it at 15,000. You making $83,000 a year in overtime. How much money do you need? How much money do you need? And then he told Jamel and Gondo, we're gonna go one last hoorah for 200,000. Let me bring up the calculator, because if my math is anywhere near right, which I don't think it is right now, because there's a lot of numbers going through my head. Let's just see something. 15,000 times 12 months. He was gonna make $180,000 just off of moving coke. 15 a month, right? $180,000. He wanted to do another $200,000 heist. Dollar heist. Big bag. So let's just say he was gonna take out 100,000 of that plus 100,000. That puts us at 280. Now that million was pure profit. So Jenkins seems like the type of guy to go in at least 60-40. So you put another 600,000 on top of that. No. It's 600,000 plus 280, shawty. Jenkins was trying to get $880,000. Jenkins was on another level of wilding out. Plus, let's go ahead and plus it. Plus the 85,000 base salary. Plus the 83,000 in overtime. Jenkins was trying to make $1 million legit in 1 year. Jenkins was going for the home run. They had so much drugs they couldn't even sell it. And they were saying it was at least $1 million in drugs. Now, if you really go down there and break it down per bottle, you probably get $50, $100 a pill, depending on what it is. It's probably 1.5 million on there once you stretch it in the streets. But damn, Jenkins, $1 million in 1 year. Well, we're not gonna say 1 year. We're gonna just say roughly 3 or 4 years, bro. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. There's no way you're ever gonna think you're gonna get away with that. You can't get away with that. And shit, he's a Bells bondman. So him telling ain't gonna do nothing. It ain't gonna stop nothing. I ain't on the force. If I can tell on a dirty cop, I might get hit with some time. But guess what? I still got all my money. I still got my Bells bond. Like, well, he may have had to put it up for collateral depending on what his bail or his bond was. But in this case, he probably had a partner. Matter of fact, let's look up, what is his name? Donald Stepp. Stepp. Yeah, it was Donald Stepp. Let's see how much time that Donald Stepp got, because I mean he told he had $1 million in drugs, but shit, I got it from Wayne Jenkins. I ain't know nothing. The Baltimore Sun, bail bondsman who helped Baltimore GTTF leader sell drugs. Oh my God, man, no. All right, here we go. Something updated. Where is We Own This City's Donald Stepp now? We Own This City follows the uncovering of corrupt. Hey man, we know all of that. Suspects stealing and even all right, here we go. Under Wayne Jenkins, many of the unit members carried out atrocious crimes, including stealing from suspects and even reselling drugs seized during raids. As the investigation into their corrupt practices heats up, a bewildering number of cases are revealed. Many associates are corrupt. All right, we got that. Here we go. Here we go. Who is Donald? Donald was arrested December 2017 on drug charges and subsequently disclosed the astounding extent of the criminal practices that he and former Sergeant Wayne Jenkins of the GTTF carried out. During the 2018 trial, the members of the GTTF Stepp became an important witness because of all the evidence he still had from the crimes he concluded. From the crimes with Jenkins. This includes photographs and video. Damn, this includes this included photographs and videos, as well as stolen paraphernalia like drugs and even watches. Man, he's just in here chilling, man. At the time of his arrest, Stepp was 52 and the owner of Double D bail bonds. He claimed that Jenkins approached him in 2012, asking he could help move large amounts of cocaine. Soon, a partnership of sorts developed between the two, with Jenkins allegedly bringing Stepp drugs to be resold on a nearly daily basis. Bruh, Jenkins was coming over to him daily talking about, I need you to sell drugs. Jenkins, back your ass up, brother. I told you 15 a month was good. Let's start with one brick here, one brick there. Bro, what are you doing? Get the hell away from me. Since the drugs came from police seizures, selling them resulted in 100% profit. Stepp estimated at one point he made about $1 million from selling the drugs, with Jenkins receiving about a 250. Oh, so my bad, Jenkins. You wasn't at $1 million. We take away, because I said 600,000. They said 250 for him, so that means 350. Blah 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 million. So you roughly at like 750,000. Well, no, 650,000. My bad. That's me. There was also an incident where Jenkins brought Stepp bags of stolen pharmaceutical drugs during the 2015 riots in connection with Freddie Gray's death. Stepp used his cartel connections in order to sell the drug. Oh, so he had cartel connections. They said he was released in 2021. This is 2018. So he did what, 3 years? He was probably telling on everybody. Stepp used his cartel connections in order to sell the drugs that Jenkins brought in. Growing up in Middle River, where Jenkins hails from, Stepp was initially friends with Jenkins' older brother. Seeing how lucrative a connection was with Jenkins, he began colluding with the police officer to sell drugs. Stepp apparently began selling marijuana at 9 and had a few convictions even before his 2017 arrest. That's why I was saying, with him being a bail bondsman, all this is going to be a slap in the wrist. He's still going to be able to give out bails from my knowledge, unless they didn't change up something. So having prior convictions ain't going to do nothing to a bail bondsman, because all I'm doing is loaning out money for you to get out of court or to get out of jail. Though he didn't volunteer the information about Jenkins before his arrest, Stepp's vast collection of evidence against Jenkins Stepp's vast collection of evidence against Jenkins proved invaluable for government prosecutors. The drugs recovered from his home deemed a 10-year sentence, but prosecutors asked the judge for a reduced sentence in lieu of Stepp's cooperation in sharing evidence. So that's why he gave up the bricks. That's why he was telling about we made $1 million. You got to get in there and tell. Now, Jenkins didn't say anything. Jenkins could have easily said, oh, Stepp, I'm working with him. He been giving me a cut on drugs if I make sure he don't get washed out for. But Stepp went in there. He said, oh, let me tell you something. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. You know what I'm saying? I know some things. He was selling weed in middle school. Yeah, you got to think. 9 years old, because he said he was arrested. He was 52 when he was arrested. That was 2018. So 52 minus 9 is 41. No, 43. 43, 18. Shit, I don't even know. Yeah, but shit. You got to look at it. Back then, selling weed was, hey, man, it's very lucrative. That's why the movie Blow, you see where he was out there making them trips because, hey, I mean, wasn't no one really cracking down on weed too much. Where is Donald Stepp now? Donald Stepp was released from federal prison in 2021 following a reduced sentence. After his release, he continued to speak out against the convicted GTTF officers, especially the likes of Wayne Jenkins and Daniel Herschel, who claimed that the charges against them were exaggerated. Stepp reportedly no longer lives in the waterfront home that Jenkins would bring seized drugs to on a regular basis. The house located in Bowley's quarters was foreclosed after Stepp was convicted. Part of the reason for his early release from prison was on compassionate grounds so he could care for his child who has a disability. Man, they always find a way to get their white folk out early, don't they? Hey, Your Honor, I need to get out on a reduced sentence. My child, like, hey, where was this disability at when, you know what I'm saying? When you first got locked up? Why it took you 3 years? What's going on here? According to reports, Stepp also lost his adult daughter to substance abuse. Though not much is known about his current activities, the former bail bondsman said that he plans to work as a counselor. He seemingly aims to start a consulting business to help people navigate the federal prison system. Yeah, what are you gonna tell him? He seemingly aims to start a consulting business to help people navigate the federal prison system. What are you gonna tell him? Go in there and tell? You ain't do nothing spectacular, nigga. The only reason you got a reduced sentence is because your ass told on everybody, and then you use your child as an excuse to get out of prison. Ain't no one about to be paying your crooked ass. You made $1 million off of selling pharmaceuticals. Talking about I'm gonna help you navigate, nigga. You didn't navigate yourself through the prison system. You told, unless you going in there. If y'all going over to Donald Stepp to be to have him as a consultant to tell you how to navigate through the federal prison system, y'all can come to me and I will make it 50% cheaper than him. And I can tell you exactly what he's going to tell you. When you get in there, tell everything you know, and it's going to reduce your sentence. Now, he was charging $299. I'm going to go ahead and hit you with $99.99. Bow. Come to me. I'm going to tell you how to get about the federal prison system. That's how you going to get up out of there. Now, I'm not in the streets and I don't do no snitching, but I'm telling you, if you got some information and you ain't did nothing, you might as well tell. That's what Donald Stepp did. I'd be right next door to his consulting business. It'd be Donald Stepp Federal Prison Consultant, and it'd be Mo's Better Federal Prison Consultant. And we're going to get you in and out a little bit cheaper than this guy. And I don't have any convictions on my record. And I ain't never went to, you know what I'm saying? I ain't never went to a federal court case and had to get on stand and tell. Now, I did do some UCMJ, you know what I'm saying, some court martials, but I beat all of those cases, ain't told on nobody. His previous business, Double D Bail's Bond, still appears to be active, though. It seems predominantly selling clothing. What? Ain't nobody buying. We about to go see what these clothes is like, too. Incidentally, it also sells branded apparel that supports the show's title, We Own This City, on the front. Though Stepp's current whereabouts are unknown, Double D Bail's Bonds is still located in Middle River, Maryland. So what did I tell y'all? He's still going to be out here issuing out bails. All he did was leave. Now, that house was foreclosed on, and the reason they probably did that is because, hey, why are we going to make these payments when we ain't making $1 million? We ain't selling these drugs no more. So you hear a lot of people talk about foreclosures being bad. Not all foreclosures are bad. In this case, they probably either put the house up and they lost it because they didn't pay it back. But All foreclosures aren't bad. So that's basically what he did. It was basically a bankruptcy of his house. Got rid of that. He moved up out of there because he's a target, because they know he's a snitch. But his double D bails bonds are still there. It's still there. Now, he doesn't physically have to be there. All he has to do is manage the money that comes in. Hey, send me an email. Let me know what's going on. Hands clean. And now what is he doing? He's doing what everybody should be doing. Profiting. He even on the title, let me see. Even on the Google webpage, look at this. Double D bails bond clothing accessories, as seen on HBO. Clothing accessories, we own this city. So he's doing what everybody else should have been doing. Wayne Jenkins should have been in there and got him a Spotify account. Hey, let me open up a We Own This City. Let's see what this double D black long sleeve tee. We own this city. Let's see what this crap look like. We own this city, double D bails bond, and it got the little logo on there. Man, let me find out. Let me find out one of y'all in here buying this bullshit. We own this city. Let me buy a shirt. Nigga. Let me see what this catalog got. We got the hoodie, we got the long sleeve, we got the t-shirt, we got the white one. Double D bails bonds. Let me see something. 410-938. We about to call them. We about to call them and see if y'all got something in stock. Let me turn my phone on in a minute. Hey, y'all. I don't hate on businesses or anything. Don't buy this shit. Don't buy this shit. But we about to call this bails bond. You know what I'm saying? We're going to ask him a few questions. Let me see something. Come on now. I'm going to put them on speed dial too, just in case I go out to Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? I need some help. Hey, Double D bails bond, what y'all got going on? But he's out the city, you know what I'm saying? He ain't showing his face no more. So 2 days ago, he was released from prison. So everybody pretty much got the same stories on. Ain't nobody coming up with anything. Let me see. We got the Double D white tees. You know what I'm saying? Can't call them off my real number. I don't want them fools having my number. We gonna call though. We gonna see if we can get what the wholesale prices is. If they even answer. 410-938-2245. What? Talking about the number can't be placed. Don't let me find out Double D bails bond ain't in order. 938-2245. Kendall say ain't nobody buying that. We about to see. Nah, Kendall, Neek, we about to call up there and we're gonna see if they selling shirts or not, or they BSing. Man, they numbers ain't going through though. Hey Donald, I know you watching. Your number ain't going through. 938. We're gonna try one more time. If they don't answer, we're gonna leave a review. Say their customer service is bad. Nah, that number does not work, people. That number does not work. Do not call Donald Stepp, man. They customer service is trash. They don't answer the phone. They don't do nothing. They ain't answering phones. They ain't doing nothing. Matter of fact, I might make some city that say Mo own the city. Fuck all that. Fuck all that. Mr. Shine, though. Now, Shine is an interesting case. Shine is a very interesting case. First of all, let me look at the poll and see what you guys think on Shine. Is he legit or not? Was Sean Suiter a dirty cop? 43% say yes. 43% said that Sean Suiter was a dirty cop. Now let me know. I'm not doing Sean wrong. I'm not doing Sean wrong at all. I wasn't the one in there taking money. I didn't do none of that. Now, all of this is alleged. Now, I'm not going to say too much about Sean because he has passed, and I don't know the whole story behind it. I am going to be watching the documentary, but I had a feeling that Sean may have been a little bit dirty. He may have took some money. Was it a large lump sum? Maybe, maybe not. But from everything that we've been seeing, and he was about to testify, and they actually have a little bit of the footage. Now, we can't really see because it's off in the distance, but they show the footage of his untimely demise. And I don't know, man. What they show us on here, I want to hear directly from his partner, the one that was out there, because you even see in here the cop. The cop was like, "Come on now." He was fighting with his gun, and he dropped his gun, but he didn't drop the radio. He looked back and he like, "Nigga, ain't no way that even makes sense." But what do we see here? They bring Sean in. Sean's name is getting brought up. Did you or did you not plant that evidence? Now, me personally, I already knew what it was. When he told me to research the car, I'm not finding anything. If he searched it and the other two searched it and they didn't find nothing, if there was drugs up under that seat when they impound it, whoever finds it finds it. I'm not doing it. One, because I'm not about to do all that paperwork. And two, y'all didn't see it. There was a tire on the back, the spare tire, all this junk was on the floor, and y'all didn't see this easily up under the seat. Even Leo's laying down. Leo laying down like, what? Sean. Now, they knew that Quinn, or what was it, Swin? Quinn or Swin, whatever his name was, the old guy that was on the scene. Well, not the old guy, but I think he's Hispanic. But when he was on the scene, they said, well, he's clean. What about Sean? What about Sean? Now Sean's in there like, oh my God, what the hell is going on here? What is going on here? Now, when your lawyer tells you to show up, I need to talk to you because they about to put you on the stand in front of the jury. Sean's thinking about, whoa, wait a minute. How did I go from just being somebody on the scene to a witness and have to take in the stand? You heard him as the DA. Is this gonna lose my job? This shit getting serious now. Now you gotta start. Wait a minute. Did I time out every day on time? Was there one time I did overtime? Because now you're thinking the worst. I don't know if y'all ever been in a situation like this where you get drugged into something, you like, what is the worst that can happen? What did I do wrong? Because they're going to try to bring up the most minuscule thing and try to pin it on you. So Sean's in here stressing out. Sean is in here stressing out. They talking about taking the stand. Now, not only that, you got to think about, am I snitching on people? Am I about to go tell on people? What I got to take the stand for, lawyer? Sean got to that house and he really got to thinking, oh shit, let me go look at my kids, man. It's about to get ugly out here. They even got the Kobe Bryant on the wall. But he looking around. Ah, man, one time could change your whole life. Now, do I think he took that money? On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm putting him at a 7. I'm putting it at a 7 on him taking that money. I think he did. I could be wrong, but that's what I think. I think he took it. He had to. I think he took it. I could be wrong. I don't know. Now, you talking to your lawyer talking about, hey, real quick, what you got going on? I ain't got much going on. What's up, lawyer? He said, man, get the probable cause of that police report and look over it. Sean ain't never looked over this. Anytime anything serious that needs to get wrote up in some documents with your name in it, and you did something and participated, you better verify what's going on. His lawyer's like, you need to check that. So when you get up on that stand, you can either go along with what was said if it was true, or you can be able to dispute it, because you don't want to get up there unaware of what they're about to be talking to you about. Sean over there with the coffee, shaking his ass off, scared as hell. I ain't never been that scared, but I've been scared before. He over here thinking, what is the worst that can happen? They gonna lock me up on this. He's spilling coffee. His partner like, hey, Sean, you all right, bro? We got to hit the streets, baby. We got work to do. Sean over there talking about, oh no. They get out in that street, and now Sean acting different. He talking about, I seen something over there. His partner like, man, where? So all of these events, I'm taking it that they got to make this. I haven't watched the Sean Suiter's his documentary, but what I'm assuming is the partner, if he talked about it or anything he put in his statement, this is what they're taking it off of. So I'm assuming that this pretty much really happened, where he said he seen someone in there ducking and squatting. I'm gonna have to watch the documentary and I'll break that down. But for the most part, everything that they gave us, I say this shit's probably about 85% factual. You know what I'm saying? Of course, they do some TV stuff, but everything, the far-fetched $1 million worth of pharmaceutical drugs, we were thinking, and that's crazy, but it really happened in real life. The breaking in the safe, we were thinking, damn, they recorded it. That actually happened in real life. Them going in the houses. So I'm assuming that this is the detail that actually happened that day. Now, from watching this, it looks like Sean was a little bit iffy. It seemed like he was a little bit iffy. Like, is this what I want to do? I want to kill myself. Like, I don't know, man. It's just all weird. Now you see black leather with the white there. And then you get that dog. Two things come out of your lawyer hitting you up this often. One, the lawyer is working their ass off. They are working their ass off if they are keeping you updated like this. And two, it's bad news. It's bad news. We need to talk. You have a USAO meeting tomorrow at 11 a.m. Grand jury tomorrow, 1 p.m. Nigga, I got all of this. Tomorrow. Bro, I'm out in the streets. I ain't read over nothing. Now, if it's good news, the lawyer, the first thing they're going to say is good news, or they're going to call you. But when your lawyer is telling you we need to talk, and then he's just telling you the meetings you got, oh yeah, you need to be prepared and focused for tomorrow. Yeah, you need to be prepared and focused, and you need to turn off your NFC, and you need to turn off your Wi-Fi. That's what we need to start off with. So right now, what is he doing? He's just reminiscing. He took him back to his first, you know what I'm saying, where he was first at. Right here on Bryce Street. You know what I'm saying? 723, I think he said. And he's just nervous because he's thinking, now you got to wonder, what does my lawyer need to talk to me about? What do we need to talk about? And what happens? You get another text message. Call me back right away. I told you. Now, when they tell you to call them, it's trouble. If they got good news, they calling you. If not, they just texting you because lawyers ain't trying to waste their time on the phone. If I can just text you and get it across, okay, cool. But for a lawyer, talking on the phone, time is money. So I just shoot you a text. But for them to tell you, hey, call me back right away, all bad news. Like, Sean, Jamel Rayam is about to tell on you. He's about to say you took some money that day. So for me, this is why I got him at like a 7. Because it's looking like, I mean, you're a little bit guilty, bro. You're a little bit guilty. Shakara said either he took the money or he didn't want to tell the other cops. Yeah, tell on the other cops. That's what I'm thinking. But I'm thinking he took the money because if he tells on the other cops, it may be a little bit late now, but it won't look as bad. If he didn't take nothing, he just didn't report it. That could just be a suspension. That could be moved out of homicide, maybe a demotion. But for him to be feeling this type of way, he must have took some money. The lawyer talking about, hey, call me back. Yeah. It's all bad at this point. And when you want to drive, like he don't never do no driving. When he got dropped off at all the other homicides, his partner dropped him off. When he got this bad news here, he said, let me drive this. Let me drive this one. Jasmine Hill said, once you watch the documentary, let us know what you think. So I'll probably watch the documentary tonight. And depending on how long I stay on here, I might watch it tonight and I'll do a breakdown of it. And then I might do a live like on Thursday to talk about the documentary. I don't know. I'm going to see it. If it's good, I'll do a full review of it and break it down. This show, the show didn't get to focus on everything that went wrong that day. Damn. Yeah, so after we talk about Sean, I'll bring up the documentary and we'll just look at like what they talk about it and we'll see what's real and saying what didn't happen. But from this story, we see Sean behind the van. Now I've seen the actual footage. I mean, like I said, it was from a distance, but this white van was here and there was 2 vehicles that drove past him before all of this happened. But Sean, he back here, and I don't know, it just didn't make sense. Like, I can't even call it. So it's showing him looking like he's preparing to go and do this. He runs back there, police stop, gets the bucking, 4 shots. Now he's down. But why would you want to go out this way? Yeah, you got to testify tomorrow, but why would you want to go out this way? Like running over there and pop, 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 and then is it one to the head? Yeah, it's just a lot, man. But for me, I'm thinking this was a suicide, and he knew he was crooked. Like, I mean, everybody was gonna tell on him anyway, but Jamel was at least gonna tell on him. And we heard what John said, being a cop and taking money, they said it was going to be bad enough to put him in jail. So I don't know, man. I'm going to have to watch the documentary. It just don't seem right. Now they arrive on the scene, RIP to Sean. But this guy, this sergeant right here, I like him. He legit. He's like, look, tell me everything that happened. He said, man, I was here like 2 or 3 seconds, 3, 4 seconds. I was at the corner. I heard some gunshots, 3 or 4 shots. I'm not sure. Maybe one sound like an echo. He's like, okay, so did you get a description or anything? He's like, nah, I ain't see nothing. So the sergeant, he talking to him. He like, this lieutenant, my bad, Sarge. My bad for being disrespectful. But you had the 3 stripes on the jacket. So that's why I thought he was a sergeant, but he lieutenant. He like, look, so you didn't see nothing. You didn't see nothing. You heard some shots. And you said the gun was up under his right shoulder, but he still was holding on to his walkie-talkie. He was still holding on to the walkie-talkie. And then you hear the other guy talking about, well, maybe they was fighting. You're like, hey, sir, maybe they was fighting. And you know what I'm saying? He was like, watch the lieutenant. I don't think y'all know. Look, he looked back like, that don't even sound right. So they was fighting. He dropped his gun, but kept the radio in his hand and got shot. And that's what I be saying. There's some people commenting on one of my videos where I talk about the girl in the military, and I'm looking at everything they saying. I'm looking at them like, y'all niggas ain't never been in the military. Y'all trying to tell me something. Talking about, oh, you was in the Air Force. Nigga, UCMJ is the same up under any branch. But this lieutenant was looking like, that don't sound right. That don't sound right. Yeah, Linda, if he killed himself, then no, they won't get the pension. Now, if he died in the line of fire, then yeah. But as of right now, they saying it was a homicide, even though some people believe it was a suicide. So as of right now, his family should get the pension. But yeah, whenever you commit suicide, like life insurance, you don't get any of that money. You don't get any of that money. So as of right now, it looks like his family, they'll get something out of it. At least he'll get a proper burial, because he was never found guilty for anything. Now, Jamel probably brought his name up in court, but that's not going to stick or anything. Oh, see, Jasmine didn't already watch the whole documentary. I'm going to have to jump into that, and we're going to figure this thing out. You know, I'm definitely going to break it down after I watch it. Hey, it's unfortunate, man, but that's how the game is, man. R.I.P. to Sean. R.I.P. to Sean. Now, did he do it? I don't know. Three hours ago. Let's see what they got on Sean. This is foxbaltimore.com. It's incredibly hurtful. Suitors, friends, family react to the finale of We Own This City. HBO's new series spotlighting Baltimore City's disbanded gun trace task force came to a close this week, and the ending is causing controversy. The final episode of We Own This City aired Monday. In it, the fate of Sean Suiter as filmmakers see it. The show clearly depicts the detective's on-duty death as a suicide, when in reality, the line between fact and fiction is much more blurred. Now, Suiter's friends and family are speaking out and arguing the show's portrayal of his passing is far from accurate. It's incredibly hurtful as his attorney, as his friend, and for his family that the last moments of his life are fictionalized as opposed to simply allowing the facts to speak for themselves, said Jeremy Eldridge, Suiter's former attorney and friend. Eldridge went on to criticize the show's creators for what he considers the careless handling of a tragic story. David Simon has said publicly that there is a series based on fact and that he reviewed the evidence, but the evidence was never released by the police department or by the state's attorney office, Eldridge explained. On Monday, Simon doubled down on social media in a heated exchange between the two. Simon replied to Eldridge's concerns with, "Your client took his life in advance of his grand jury testimony. He had been informed by FBI investigators that while he was not a target, he would likely lose his job as a result of the revelations forthcoming. This is regrettable. It is also entirely true." Now, Simon is saying that Sean did it because he was about to lose his job. Now, I'm trying to think. Lose his job? Was he facing any jail time? Because if you weren't facing any jail time, it wasn't. I mean, I don't really want to talk too much about suicide, but if I'm just losing my job and I'm not getting any jail time, well, first of all, let me make something clear. Suicide is never on my mind, never. But in this event, if I'm not getting no jail time, I'm just losing my job. then so be it. I lose my job. We're gonna have to bounce back. Hey, baby, you're gonna have to get a job, or we're gonna have to work and figure out how we're gonna take care of these 5 kids. But I lost my job. I wasn't guilty or nothing, but nah, it ain't no suicide, man. Fuck all that. There's more to life, man. Like, no matter how bad I'm doing, I can't. But if you need help, man, veterans, we have the suicide helpline. And there is also a regular suicide helpline that civilians can call. And if you need to talk, man, you can just hit me up, man. I'll talk to you. But Jeremy Aldrich, the fact that AO Despair relayed on the error-written IRB report to basically the frame portrayal of my friend and the client Sean Shooter's death is simply laughable. It makes me sad that HBO could embed actors with cops, but they couldn't talk to me, Sean's wife or family. Well, Jeremy, if you really feel that way, because I know y'all didn't sell the rights to Sean Shooter. The only problem is they can do it because Sean Shooter was a public entity. He worked for the police department, so they could do whatever they want with the story as long as it's fictionalized and they put that disclaimer at the beginning. Because you got to remember, these are civil servants, police officers. You don't own the right to your own name. You know what I'm saying? It's just like when you join the NBA. They don't even own the name that's on their back. That's why they can't be in commercials with their names on their jersey. They can't even be in the commercial with their team name on it unless it's an official sponsor of the NBA. So in reality, you don't really own your name. But I mean, that's totally two different things, professional sports and being a police officer. But y'all get what I'm saying. We did that. He was never worried about losing his job. He was never worried about being charged criminally, Eldridge argues back. Sean was murdered, and this has been years and years of fighting some cockamamie suicide theory. Cockamamie. City officials have also come to conflicting conclusions. The medical examiner ruled his death a homicide, while an independent review board later determined the detective took his own life. Now, when I hear that, when I hear the city officials come to conflicting conclusions, the medical examiner ruled his death a homicide. Now, I can see the police and the city doing that because they already got 8 bad cops. If we add in a 9th, it's just going to look bad because now it's like, all right, so it's got to be more. So for them to rule it a homicide, this is one, get the family off the case. Like, hey, it was a homicide. We're going to go ahead and pay them that money because it would be, if it was ruled a suicide, they would be doing all kinds of examining and trying to bring it up. And you know how all that is. The Baltimore City, they weren't trying to do nothing. So giving the pension to Sean is actually cheaper than paying out a lawsuit. Follow me. Giving that pension, he might get, you know what I'm saying? Let's just say it's $150,000, $200,000. That's going to be significantly lower than her suing. You see what I'm saying? Like, oh, we need to get the pension. And then they could sue for more money. So the city, we know that they're always trying to cut costs. Even in this episode, they were talking about cutting budgets and everything. So the city saying that it was a homicide, this looks better for the police department than having a 9th crooked cop and a potential lawsuit from the family saying, hey, you know what I'm saying? He didn't kill himself. But there was an independent review board that determined it, that he took his own life. Now, I'm probably going to go more with this independent review board just because of everything that we said, that the city is trying to cut costs. If we can pay you $200,000 to shut the fuck up and don't come back, give him the pension, give him the proper burial. But if it comes up that there was a 9th cop that was dirty, there was the 9th cop, also he committed suicide, the family don't get no money from it. You see what I'm saying? So it's hard to determine what really happened. But you would think this would be very easy because they said it's a homicide, but these detectives, I mean, this independent medical review board said it was a suicide. Are they saying that the homicide happened They took his gun and used his gun on him and left it. You see what I'm saying? All they had to do is go to the ballistics. Was the bullet that killed Shine from his gun? You see what I'm saying? Was the angle this way, or was it from a distance? They can figure all that out. You see what I'm saying? So it looks like the city is just saying a homicide, pay her out. We can keep them quiet as much as possible. But I mean, I don't know, man. Regardless, Eldridge says Eldridge said that the damage to Suter's reputation is already done. The way that they presented her husband as a loving family man and as a good cop is probably about the only truth that is in this HBO series contains, he said Eldridge. Eldridge also says Suter's widow has chosen not to watch the show. He adds that she's deeply disappointed no one from HBO reached out to her to get her perspective before it was made. Now, it's tough. I don't know if Sean was dirty or not, but from the business side on HBO, I understand why they didn't talk to her. They didn't need to talk to her. What perspective were they going to get from her that they couldn't get from anyone else besides how he acted at the house? And they said he was a good family man. They said he was a good homicide detective. But what perspective could they, like, no disrespect to the shooter's family, his wife, his kids, or anything like that, but from the business standpoint, if we just take all the evidence and all the paperwork that we have, the statements from the people that were on the scene, and from the city officials' documentation, the independent review board, like, that's all they needed. That's all they needed. Everything else plays its part. They never showed Sean taking any money. We can only assume if he did or if he didn't. They said that Jamel was going to mention his name. We also seen that Jenkins put the blame on him too and said he didn't take it. So it was only Sean and another guy on the scene because they didn't have documentation of the guy that Jenkins allegedly called. So they really didn't need the family's perspective when they can go off of all the reports. And it came out in court that Jenkins didn't admit to that. So that means all the fingers are pointing to Sean. Jamel, they even had paperwork saying the DA. That's why John was so upset, because Jamel was going to mention Sean's name. So what perspective would they have got from her, unless HBO would have did some digging and it's like, okay, was Sean taking some money back then? Okay, we see here y'all made a big purchase for $20,000-$30,000. You see what I'm saying? All that would do is just dig up if he was dirty. Now, like I said, I'm not saying he is or not. From what I've seen, it looks like he may have did something. I don't know. I mean, it's up for people to decide. Shakara said everybody blame the dead guy. I mean, who else is there to blame? Who else is there to blame? Cheryl said it was just the right thing for HBO to do, just adequate. I mean, yeah, they could have. But that's like saying, hey, we need to go interview Jenkins' wife. We need to go interview Momodu Gondo's girlfriend. You see what I'm saying? That means now we got to go start asking everybody stuff. I mean, I understand. Now, for his own individual documentary, I say, yeah, they should have actually talked to her. I don't know. Jasmine had to tell us, but for the HBO series, this show, in the grand scheme of things, this show wasn't focusing on Sean. This show was focusing on the other 8 members that got arrested, with Jenkins being the main, Herschel, then Momodu, and then Jamel. So Sean, other than this last episode, all we wonder was, did he take the money or not? Other than that, that's a couple hours we got to go talk to Sean's wife, and we got to ask her questions. I say for the documentary, they definitely should have asked. But for HBO, you got to understand these big companies, they don't give a damn. They trying to go make their money. They trying to put this out. All HBO cares about is we own this city, number one. That's all HBO cares about. I mean, it's business. Exactly, Shakar. Outside of the death, they showed him as a good father. He went home. He talking to his wife. He make sure his kids is good. He was at work. You know what I'm saying? He even had a guilty conscience when things were going on. But that's right, Kendall. This is actually a book. So HBO just bought the rights of the book and they put it out. Now, of course, some of it's fictionalized, but I mean, I just don't know. City officials have conflicting conclusions. The medical examiner said it was death by homicide. The independent review board later determined the detective took his own life. So her perspective wasn't going to change the two different outcomes that we potentially have. I mean, it's if she wants to, she can get up and speak on the situation, but I don't know. We do one more article on Sean. The Real News Network. I don't know who these guys are or how credible they are. The missing evidence that makes Baltimore detective Sean Shooter's death even more mysterious. So we could jump into this. Hell, I'm doing the Sean Shooter breakdown just off the websites. I haven't even watched the documentary. A recent HBO documentary entitled The Slow Hustle has brought renewed attention to a mysterious death of Baltimore homicide detective Sean Shooter in 2017. Police initially claimed Shooter was the victim of a lone assailant after his body was found in West Baltimore Alley with a gunshot wound to the head. But as details began to emerge regarding Shooter's involvement with some of Baltimore's most corrupt cops, the case took a turn that raised serious questions about what actually happened and if his death was a part of a broader cover-up. See? So, I mean, it's more to it. Like, shortly after Shooter died, Police Accountability Report hosts Taya Graham and Stephen Janis produced a podcast series that looked behind the scenes and examined how Shooter's death told a more complex story about the police corruption in Baltimore. In part 2 of his podcast series, Graham and Janis took a closer look at the Baltimore Police Department's own investigation into Shooter's death and explain why the facts don't add up. See, now I'm gonna have to go and listen to this podcast before I even watch the documentary. Now they're giving us a transcript, but they don't give you the whole context. This is just gonna be a little clip of it. So here's the transcript of part 2 of the podcast. Stephen Janis. Anyone who watches crime dramas could reasonably conclude that when someone is murdered, barren and bizarre circumstances, the case is solved. That is through high-tech forensics, moral resolve, or simply near mythic competence of American law enforcement. Killers are ultimately sent to jail. But as an investigative reporter who has worked in one of the most violent cities in the country for nearly 15 years, I can tell you this is not true. Now, I'm an investigative reporter, and I've been doing it for about maybe 3 months. Maybe about a year now. I've always been interested in this stuff, but I ain't never really broke anything down. Graham said, and that is the point of this podcast, because unsolved killings represent more than just statistics. It's a psychic toll of stories untold that infects an entire community, the final violent moments of a victim's life that remain shrouded in mystery. Janis, I'm Stephen Janis. I'm Taya Graham. We are investigative reporters who live in Baltimore. Welcome to the land of the unsolved. Speaker 1, the caller's coward with a gun in his hand shot a cop in the head tonight. Speaker 2, my heart grieves for Detective Sean Shooter. Number 3, there's no way I would think if you are a good partner, that you are going to lose sight of me. That's tough. Now, I mean, I don't know how cops roll, but yeah, we always got that buddy system in the military. You got to always go with one person. They got to stay right by your side. You never lose sight of your partner because things like this can happen. Speaker number 4. Now, if they thought at the smallest level that it involved police officers tied to their case, there's no way they would have given the case back. Stephen Tablin, listen, after a case gets 72 hours old, it gets cold. If you don't do something in 72 hours, you really have a problem. Kevin Davis, how many people is on this show? There's a radio transmission with a very brief radio transmission made by Detective Shooter. It was about 2 or 3 seconds. It's unintelligible now. We don't know exactly what he said, but he was clearly in distress. So he did make a call on the radio, said it was 2 or 3 seconds, but they couldn't tell what he said. It just sounded like he was in distress. See, now I'm definitely about to watch that documentary because I want to hear if Jasmine, do they put the radio transmission on there so we can hear it in the documentary? Welcome back to the Land of the Unsolved, the podcast that explores the legions of unsolved cases and mysterious death that haunt one of the most violent cities in America, Baltimore. In our first series, we're talking about the case of Detective Sean Suiter, a case that had come to embody all the ills that affect Baltimore: police corruption, community mistrust, and the general sense that things are not what they appear to be. Suiter was found on November 5th, shot in the West Baltimore alley. The bullet entered the back of his head and came from his own gun. Hey, that ain't making sense. So he got shot in the back of his head with his own gun, but he entered into the alley face forward. So what they do? Take it and spin him around and then shoot him, and then he lands on his face? Like, how did they get behind him? Because let's keep going. Graham said police initially insisted Shooter was shot by an unknown assailant, but as we learned, that theory is in doubt from the beginning. Just a week after Shooter was shot, there was still no evidence of an assailant. Reporter Jane Miller also reporting that Shooter was shot with his own gun. Graham, and the police commissioner admits there is no evidence of a struggle or a lone gunman. Janice, but after a massive funeral, a week with few, if any, leads, a bombshell announcement at the police headquarters. Stay Wavy said it was the side of his head. I'm gonna look into it. I'm just gonna see what this podcast is talking about. And then, because you can't just have one source. So whatever information they have, I'm definitely going to watch the documentary, and then I'm going to dig up some more things because I want to break down what potentially happened to Sean. But you got to get multiple things so you can hear their accord of what happened, their accord, and if we can get any kind of documentation from the police, then we can start putting that together and piecing things together, and then you can just generally rule out the BS that probably didn't pertain to the actual crime. All right, and the police commissioner admits there is no evidence of a struggle or of a lone gunman after the funeral. All right. Kevin Davis. I am now aware of Detective Shooter's pending federal grand jury testimony surrounding an incident that occurred several years ago with Baltimore Police Department officers who were federally indicted in March of this year. The acting U.S. attorney and the special agent in charge of the FBI's Baltimore field office had told me in no uncertain terms that Detective Shooter was not a target of any ongoing criminal investigation. Police Commissioner Kevin Davis, who we found out was actually a criminal and crook also, he revealed that Shooter was set to testify before a federal grand jury in the case of the now infamous Gun Trace Task Force. Investigative report Jane Miller was there. Now we know that Kevin Davis, he got fired. The deputy commissioner, he got fired. So everybody was We talking about overtime fraud. Everybody over here was committing some kind of fraud, tax evasion. It's a lot of stuff. I told you guys in the intro before we even got started. If you want to work your butt off and become somebody and throw it all away, Baltimore, go there. If you want to get rid of everything that you worked hard for, Baltimore. Not the people there. You know what I'm saying? I got love for the people in the civilians in the community of Baltimore. But if you want to become something crooked, Baltimore is like the place. Because everybody was crooked. The commissioner, deputy commissioner, the mayor, the DA. Man, what the hell? Jane Miller. So on November 22nd, exactly a week after the shooting, Kevin Davis held a news conference and he said he was supposed to testify for the federal grand jury about the GTTFF case November 16. We also reported with an interview with the U.S. Attorney Steve Shannon that the feds didn't know what he was going to say. So that remains one of the greatest mysteries in the case. What was he going to say? GTTF is at the time the elite unit of officers, detectives whose mission was to get guns off the street. March of 2017, 7 members of the unit, a sergeant and 6 detectives, were indicted federally. All right, we know this. Ken Davis is now the police chief in Virginia. Well, he didn't get fired. If y'all listen to the recap, I said the best thing to do when you have these positions and you about to get fired, step down. You want to step down because you're not going to get charged with anything. You can still become another police chief or commissioner. You can do whatever you want if you step down. Like, hey, I bow out. But unfortunately, he got hit with tax evasion. I don't know if he's able to, go ahead and be a commissioner. I'll look that up in a minute, but let's see. The implications that shooter was somehow involved with ties to a case dating back to 2010. Miller, I'm also hearing a narrative in the kind of a rumbling around surrounding the case that he was very concerned that he was going to get outed in the case and that he had shown some concern about that. It was a case that involved a car chase, an accident, and the death of a father of a Baltimore police officer. All right, so this is about to give us the breakdown of what happened with Shooter during that car chase and why they feel like Shooter may have committed suicide because he thought he was going to be implemented. Now, we know for a fact that Jenkins put it on him and Jamel was going to testify against Sean. So that's 2 people that were going to go in there. Now, do they have suspicion to not believe Jamel? No. And the reason they would listen to Jamel, the reason he would let me say it. The reason the court would listen to Jamel and the DA and the feds would, because Jamel went in there and told everything. You see what I'm saying? Everything that he reported was credible. He even gave them crimes that they didn't even know about. So if he was to mention Shooter, they were going to go ahead and they were going to listen to him and believe that because he told on Jenkins. He even told on himself that crimes that he did. You see what I'm saying? So that's why they're saying that it seemed like Shooter may have been, saying a little bit concerned he was going to be outed. So there was a car stop in April of 2010 that involved Jenkins and Shooter and another officer. They stopped these 2 guys because Jenkins thought, this is what Jenkins wrote in his charging document, they were about to have a transact drugs, that they had too much money, whatever. He saw a guy with cash, so they stopped him. Shooter was in one car, Jenkins in the other. The officer was in another. So they kind of boxed him in. The 2 guys who were in the car, they indicated that they were, I don't want to say, they didn't say that they were wearing full masks, but they indicated that they had on plain clothes and they weren't quite sure. They thought they were going to get robbed. Now, you remember, they said that. They said when y'all pulled up on us, we didn't know y'all was cops. Y'all never announced yourself. All they did was hit the lights and pull up on them. So, of course, they thought, hey, we about to get robbed. Where was he at? All right, so they weren't quite sure that they were going, what was going on. So the 2 guys in the car take off. They somehow get their car out of the little box, and they take off and they drive a short distance. Jenkins and Shooter are both in pursuit in some fashion. The car runs through an intersection and hits another car and causes a pretty bad crash. And as a result of that, an 86-year-old man passed from the result of the accident. At the time, the two men, the names Brett Matthews and Omar Burley, that's who they were talking about in the case this episode. They get convicted of, he pleads guilty to manslaughter in the state court. And that's kind of the end of that. Well, in fact, what happened was the drugs were planted, and that comes to light because of a testimony of the other officer. And Suter was the one that found the planted drugs. So we're going off facts here. The other cop testified and said that there were drugs planted in the vehicle. They were planted in the vehicle, and Suter was the one that found it. I think it was Mr. Burley who described Suter as kind of the good cop, bad cop. That he was like, look, you'll be okay, whatever, at the initial stop. And then Suter's role allegedly after the crash was to discover the planted drugs. And there's no allegations that Suter put the drugs in the car. There's no allegation that he knew the drugs were planted. The other officer who testified against Jenkins said that Suter was clueless. But obviously the question remains whether Suter knew that this was all dirty. So basically what he's saying here is Suter, from a distance, it looked like, oh, Shooter doesn't know what's going on. But those drugs were planted because I searched the car. You see what I'm saying? So for him, all he's saying is it looked like Suter didn't know what was going on. But now people want to know, did Suter know? And he was just playing dumb? You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, we just going off the facts. The other officer testified and said that the drugs were planted. He said that Shooter didn't know. He seemed clueless. But we all want to know, was he dirty? Because this happened. And we also seen another instance that happened where there was some money. Janice says, and now for Sean Yo's, editor of Afro-American newspaper, all the simmering doubts that had been rolling the community about the case came to surface. And then again, once we found out that he was due to testify against his own colleagues, then I think it just seemed like almost a watershed moment for most people. They had a good thing. They were making money. I mean, they were getting paid between overtime and robbing drug dealers. I mean, you bust a guy for $25,000, split it among your men, and you're already getting 80 G's in extra overtime of money a year. And then you can get 5,000, 10,000 a month on top of that. Grimm says, and for a retired homicide detective, Stephen Tablin is another piece of a bizarre puzzle that was not coming together. Stephen says, the thing is, I've had cases where somebody would be near a window and shoot themselves in the head. I've had cases somebody would be near a window and shoot themselves in the head. And just remember, the gun goes off and your hand goes and the gun might go outside. You might find a gun feet away. Would it be logical to find the gun underneath them? Yeah, it could happen. That could happen. But again, where were the shell casings? Where were the shell casings? You can tell what side. You can tell maybe if the gun was left-handed. I mean, if the guy was left-handed or right-handed or what side. But then again, these are things that you have to see. And that's what I was saying. They didn't look at it. They said, one report says it was from the side. Someone said it was from behind. But if it was from behind, how was the gun up under his, you know what I'm saying? Unless it was boom and then fell. I don't know. For Miller, who spent a great deal of time in Harlem Park, the belief was also building among community members that Shooter was a victim of foul play. Miller, where there was already a strong belief in West Baltimore community that it was a hit on Shooter. And then it really exacerbated that. Grimm, and she notes the testimony was high stakes for Shooter. Miller, he likely would have been immunized before the grand jury. I don't know. I don't know that that was his concern as much as he was going to be exposed. And in fact, he was exposed. If you remember, there was a testimony from one of the detectives who testified in the trial that Shooter was among those who took money. Now, we're not going off and making stuff up. This is a sworn testimony that Shooter was among one of the people that took money. Everybody that was telling was willingly telling on everybody. They were trying to get the lightest sentence as possible. So if somebody testified and said that he was one of the, one of the detectives that took some money, they aren't lying, because if they can't prove that Sean took some money, they're just going to look at him and say, hey, nah, your plea was for 7 years. If you told, well, we found out Sean didn't take no money, so that's going back to a 12 to 15 year sentence. You got to remember, these people, there's only two people that didn't cooperate. Marcus Taylor and Herschel. The only two that didn't cooperate. Everybody else told everything. So they didn't have no reason to lie on Shooter when they're already telling everything that they did, everything that Jenkins did, everything that Herschel did. You see what I'm saying? Tablin. I didn't see the man. I didn't see his body. Only thing I know is what was said, but it's very difficult for me to believe that somebody just walked up and put a gun in his head. It's tough to believe. Janice. Both Tanya and I attended the trial of the two members. Both Taya and I attended the trial of the other two members of the gun trace task force, Herschel and Taylor. They were the only cops out of the now 9 officers who had pled not guilty. Man, they talking about everything I'm talking about after me. Both were convicted at trial. I think it's important to understand just how brazen and destructive this group was and how the culture has played into the suspicion about Shooter's case. During the trial, prosecutors called a long list of witnesses, drug dealers who they robbed, a bail bondsman who helped them deal pills stolen from pharmacies during the uprising of the Freddie Gray. Janice, but one of the stories stood out for its brazenness. Not satisfied with dealing drugs and cash from narcotic work, the officers began to branch out and look for more opportunities to steal. Now, is this going to talking? Okay, it's still talking about Sean. What up, Pretty Girl Loves Trap? We just breaking down a little bit on Sean from this little podcast here. So they're about to go into another opportunity that they had, and we're going to see. Hopefully, they dive in deep on what this other cop testified on, saying Sean took some money back in the day. So one of the GTTF members obtained an auto tracking device from the police department and placed it on the car of a person they had been told keeps large amounts. So I think this is the Anderson silver that they were talking about. They tracked his location, and it was when he was gone, they attempted to rob his house. But they arrived, broke into the house. Yeah, this is that case. The victim's girlfriend was laying in the bed, and I remember in the courtroom, the defense lawyer asking, "What did you do?" And the officer said something like, "I may have threatened her life." The point of the story is that the GTTF was so out of control, so literally unsupervised, that they operate impunity of a criminal. They operated with the impunity of a criminal organization deep within the Baltimore Police Department. And that is why an investigation into the death of Detective Sean Shooter unfolded to community suspicions that what the top brass was telling them was hiding something deeper from a more sinister beneath the surface only became more intense. So everyone's thinking that the upper brass, not detective, but the commissioner, everyone, they're just giving out this information to say, hey, it was a homicide. Basically to keep all the facts away. You know what I'm saying? Like I was mentioning, if it came out that Sean was actually dirty or they outed him in court, it's just going to look bad because it would have brought the whole total up to 10 members. Graham, as the details of the case were revealed, that Shooter was set to testify about a different picture emerged that didn't jibe with the image of a hero cop. Also, they're saying when his case is about to come out, it wasn't going to look like no hero cop. Janice. Instead, the story of the 2010 accident included details of planting drugs and, more importantly, a larger role between Shooter and the mastermind of GTTF, Sergeant Wayne Jenkins. Hey, man, this is long. They can go give us some information. All they doing is just talking right now. I'm gonna skim through this because they're telling us everything we already know. Jenkins was a supervisor of the task force. He was also the ringleader of criminal activity, guiding a squad of 7 officers on an array of horrific crimes, robbing people. I can tell you how it's been described by the other members of the squad when they testified, and the Bell's bondsman, who knows him very well, that was the guy who was selling the drugs. For him, it is that he felt very empowered by his position on the gun trace task force, that he felt he could go wherever he wanted. I mean Gondo, I think it was Gondo that described him as crazy. He definitely bent the rules even before committing crimes. He was bending rules. Jeez Louise, I didn't plan on doing this much reading, but we already here now. Make sure y'all hit that like button, you know what I'm saying? And remember, all of this is just coming from a podcast. Now I'm gonna look up these people and I'm gonna do a further investigation of my own and see how credible they are and what documents they actually read over so they can get this. But they are everything that they're talking about, people testifying. I read all of that and I heard all of that from the little research I was doing on the jail time from the officers. So as of right now, we do have a lot of facts here. And as reporters like Miller started digging, they learned that Jenkins and Suter had ties that went back years. I mean, from the moment that Suter was shot and that happened, you looked at his case and was like, whoa, he's working with these guys in 2009, 10, 11, and 12. And so immediately it raised the question of whether his death may have some nexus to the case because of the connection to them. I also heard that he had been concerned about what he had witnessed when he was working with Jenkins. He wanted to be moved out of the unit. And so all of that in his background. So all of that was in his background of his death. The narrative just kept coming for it was the police did it, which is when the new theory in the case starts to emerge. All right, here we go. Now we get into the details. Baltimore Janice said, and Baltimore Police Department makes a startling request. An announcement that changes the course of the investigation raises doubt about what really happened to Suter and only reinforces the notion that when it comes to Baltimore Police Department, nothing is what it seems. Davis. The next morning, I sent out the following letter that I will read to you, and a copy will be provided to you at the end of this press conference to Christopher Ware, the director of the FBI. And I sent it to him today. Dear Director Ware, I appreciate and commend the leadership of the special agent in charge, Gordon Johnson, of your Baltimore field office as it pertains to specifically to the November 15 murder of Detective Sean Suter. Special agent in charge, Gordon, has been responsive, collaborative, and dedicated FBI resources to our investigation. In fact, the FBI, ATF, and DEA have all embedded to this investigation from the very beginning. Basically, FBI and DEA, they like, man, this is an easy case for us to hop on. The FBI did most of the work. All we got to do is see something. Hey, were they selling drugs? ATF is like, boom, we got it. DEA, they talk about, oh, were they moving any drugs? Boom, oh, we got it. You see what I'm saying? All of these other entities, they just going to tack on because it looked good for them. You remember that Baltimore case that went down? Yeah, them 9 officers. Basically, ATF and DEA is piggybacking off all the work that the FBI did. Shout out to John. He did all the work. Erica, you were there. Graham, a twist in the case that will push an already fraught city to the edge. Come on, man. We don't need all this little sayings, everybody trying to get famous. We just want to hear the facts. Yos, you could not, if you had 1,000 tongues, you couldn't say BS enough. Janice, all that coming up on the next episode of on the Land of the Unsolved as we continue to explore the mysterious death of Sean Suter. Thank you for joining us for the second episode. Well, that was it. Be sure. Oh man, I done read all this and they ain't tell us nothing. Thank you for joining us, the Land of the Unsolved. Hey man, I just read all that and y'all didn't, man. We done read all that. We ain't get no information. I thought they was about to tell us, hey, Shooter did this, Shooter did that. Man, We better off let me break this shit down on my own with the articles I got. I done read this whole thing. I'm out of breath. I'm mumbling over words. I'm like, damn. Shout out to Pretty Girl Loves Trout. My donation is to the the internet fund. Moby breaking it down, doing the research, education, the community. Oh, thank you, Pretty Girl Loves Trout. I done read all of this shit. I'm thinking they about to get into, we done seen this. This is what such and such said. We read for fucking 30 minutes. Now I gotta go get some more water. My voice is all hurt. I hate reading. It's just a lot of nonsense. If I'm reading, I like to just skim through it. Oh, okay, boom, boom, boom. I done read all this shit. What is this podcast called again? What is this? The Real News Network. Hey, it was called the Land of the Unsolved. I'm about to tweet y'all. Hey, when did this come out? Nah, man, y'all understand. I'm a little bit upset. January 17th. Oh, okay, this is before. Okay, I cut y'all some slack. This is before the documentary came out. No, about to say. Sheesh. I read all that shit and we didn't find out nothing. All they did was give us a damn recap of the whole season back in January. Google, we need to go ahead and remove them. They should not be in the top list of searches. They at number one out of the top stories. They number one. They don't need to be on there. Ain't no way they need to be on there from January 17, 2022. Come on, man. Did all that reading. Fucking like popcorn. I should have had some of y'all come on here and read this thing out. Damn. Wasted all that time. Now I gotta watch the documentary and come up with my own conclusion. I think Sean did it. What people say about Sean's death. Oh man, no problem, y'all. Y'all know I'm gonna read some stuff, but geez Louise. If I'm gonna read, I want it to be informative. I want it to tell me something that I didn't know. I don't go and read books that I already know what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? If I already know what happened, I don't need to read it. I know it. I want to see something new. But I cut this some slack because that was back in January. They were ahead of the power curve. All right, man. Let me see. Shooting darted into a vacant. Refuted. So they basically just took this right here and straight from HBO. But what have people said about Shooter's death? And we own the city finale, which aired Monday, May 30th. Shooter's death is depicted in such a way that it does not give a definite answer as to whether his passing was a homicide or suicide. This was something actor Jamie Hector, who portrays Shooter, appreciated about the HBO show. And he told Newsweek, I feel like the show talks about exactly what is known about, this is what happened with Sean up until the point that we don't know what happened to Sean. So, Jamie Hector was like, I think they did a good job. Very good job. Oh, yeah, Kendall, thank you for that. Prayer call, y'all. Got to pat ourselves down after that one. Now, if Pizza Hut still had that book it, you used to read a book and you go up to Pizza Hut, they get a little personal pan pizza. All that shit I read, I got a whole real pizza. I got a whole large pizza. Because we don't know if he took the money, because we don't know if this happened, everybody has their own opinion as to what happened. There was a study that was shown leaning in specific directions, right? For me personally, because there was not an eyewitness to the situation, he has a family that has to live with it as well. They did a great job of telling the story as to what happened to Sean. Letting viewers decide. Well, that's what I was saying about talking to the family. This is HBO. They got to leave us some suspense. It's gonna have us talking about the moment. You know what I'm saying? All that's doing is opening up the conversation on, do you think he did or didn't he? The show wasn't talking directly about Sean's overall life. Now, I know that's what his wife wanted to tell them, like he was good, he did all of this, but for the direction of the show, talking about the gun trace task force, we just want to know what was going on at the job. And just like her, we don't know what was going on. While he was at work, the only words that we have is from all of the other cops that were out there testifying, saying they seen Shooter do something, saying they seen Jenkins do something. Unless Shooter was going home and telling her, hey man, we taking money out here. You see what I'm saying? So her perspective wouldn't have changed anything for the whole overall show, if that makes sense. Like, not discrediting her and what her and her husband had, but it wouldn't have had anything to do with the show. We want to know about Gun Trace Task Force. You see what I'm saying? So let me see. All right. The show creator, David Simon, added, I think for the sake of viewers, we should just let people experience what the known moments are, what was witnessed, and let people decide as they will. If you're asking me individually, I think fundamentally, once you read the independent reviews, once you walk the ground, once you talk to the investigators, once you look at what is in the file and what reasons they had for being out there and what the physical evidence is, this man took his own life. And that's what I'm saying. He's going off of, this is the co-creator of the show. This is a co-creator. And what he's using is official documents. He talked to the investigators. He actually went out there. He looked at the files. So for him, he's just taking all of the facts that they have. Like I keep saying, no discredit to her. But just like her, we don't know all the details. We weren't out there. He's taking all the evidence that was there. You see what I'm saying? So from the creator, well, the co-creator, that's what he's saying. I think he's leaving it up to us to choose, but it's not as satisfying. It's not as dramatic as the idea of him being assassinated, because he was going to testify in front of a grand jury, all the other narratives that could possibly conjure. But it's the one that actually fits the evidence. I mean, if the evidence is stating to that, there would be no reason. My whole thing is there would be no reason for an independent review board to determine it a suicide. What would that independent review board get out of that? They don't get anything from that. Now, the city saying that it was a homicide, that's one less dirty cop, allegedly, and that's less money that they got to pay out to the family. You see what I'm saying? The independent review board, they're not benefiting from it. It's an independent review board. It's just like if you go and get an independent autopsy, it's from the outside people. They don't have any reason to lie. Their job is to tell you the facts because they're independent. That means they got to get money. The city, they already have a budget for that. You see what I'm saying? The coroner's already paid. So whether he's with the police department, the commissioner, somebody come down and talk to him, that's their thing. But an independent review board, they're independent for a reason, meaning I get paid to be right. I got to give you the factual information, because if I give you something wrong and it comes up that we were wrong, the next people ain't going to hire us. Why would we want to go to y'all and we find out that y'all wrong? It just, to me, I'm looking at it as it was a suicide. I mean, we don't really know. I don't think we're ever going to know. You would think they'd had the ballistics or something. Like, you can tell where the gun was shot from. It's just a lot of stuff that The Wire creator went on. We try to address that while at the same time leaving room for people to understand that it's still an argument in Baltimore and probably will be forever. It's one of those deaths that will be. I think everyone sees it through the prism of their own politics, maybe even more so than they see it through the prism of factual evidence. See, I'm going off of factual evidence from what I read and what I've seen. I'm going off of he shot himself, but that said, it's a tragedy regardless and heartbreaking, because whether or not Shooter had been implemented in things earlier in his career, he had moved past that to becoming a competent death investigator and somebody who wanted to be a cop for the right reasons, but the past came and called him. That's what I was gonna say, man. Like, just because you did some bad in the past and you move forward past it, stealing money from people, like, and whatever else you were involved in, the past is gonna come back and collect. And it sucks, man. Evidence points to suicide. See, man, I was supposed to do this in an individual video. I'm just gonna break this out and add it. Evidence points to suicide. Per the Baltimore Sun, the independent review board's report said the evidence simply does not support anyone other than Detective Shooter himself firing the fatal shot. Nor does the evidence support the conclusion that Detective Shooter fired that shot accidentally. That leaves only this tragic scenario. Nor does the evidence support a conclusion that he fired that shot accidentally. Meaning, you ain't just running and accidentally shooting yourself. They're saying that looked like it was probably this way or however, but this is the independent review. This is the independent review board. Shooter's family refuted this conclusion. And per the publication, they said that he was a well-regarded detective and that he was in good spirits in the days and weeks before his death. So he could not have taken his own life. See, and the one thing about that, just because you felt good last week, things change. In the way that they were showing it in the show, I don't know if that was true or not, but his lawyer was texting him saying, hey, you got this tomorrow, you got this tomorrow. Now, if that happened in real life, that could change your whole mood. We seen how he was when they called him in to talk to him. I think Sean was like was Sean 41 maybe? I'll look up. What did I tell y'all? I haven't even looked. In October 2020, Shooter's family received a settlement of $900,000 from the city. And per Fox 45 News, his wife Nicole said this settlement is just the beginning of a mittance. No, what I was telling y'all, they gonna give you that pension or they gave you a $900,000 settlement. You see what I'm saying? Because this is cheaper than you being able to sue the city. So for them to go ahead and say it was a homicide, we pay you this money and we don't have to sue you. Because if we said it was a suicide and then we can't prove that, or it makes us look bad, we're going to have to spend way more money. Now, I put this on Everything I Love. I didn't even know that there was a settlement. But just thinking about how cities are ran, it's cheaper to just pay somebody out. That's just like settling out of court. Someone suing you for $20 million, you settle out of court for like $2 million. It's just, and the city gains more for just paying this $900,000. And because guess what? We haven't heard from Shooter's wife until today, after they watched the show. You see what I'm saying? That $900,000 kept them quiet until this came out. You do not win workers' compensation cases unless you are injured, hurt, or killed while on the job. This to me is the first step to acknowledge that Sean was murdered, the beginning of what the family needs, which is peace of mind. Sean cannot rest in peace until justice is completed. Now, this is his lawyer talking. In an interview with Fox 45 News in December 2021, Jeremy Eldridge, the attorney of Shooter's family, gave an update after the release of HBO's documentary about the detective's death, The Slow Hustle. So this is what Jasmine has been talking about, guys. The Slow Hustle on HBO is the documentary of Sean. I'm going to watch that, and I'm going to probably break it down. If not tonight, probably tomorrow, and it'll be up Thursday. We'll see. He said, we're really hoping the mayor can step in and make sure that Sean Shooter's family can finally have some closure, and we can finally move on. And we can label this the homicide it always was, just as the chief medical examiner said. The lawyer added, it tells a story that if Sean, a good cop, can't get a fair and just investigation, then what is every other victim to expect? Now, this is basically just talking about, I definitely feel if he's a white man, it would be a totally completely different story, but he's not a white man. He's a black man with a family. Well, in some cases, yeah, but who got the most time? Wayne Jenkins, white man. Daniel Herschel, white man. The other black guys, they got 7 years, 12 years, 15 years. I mean, I understand where he's coming from. He's definitely right, but I just don't know. I just don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think about it. Damn, that was interesting. You know what I'm saying? Sheesh. Well, I can't use any of that information twice. So I'm gonna watch the episode. And we're gonna see how it is. We can pretty much go into free time because everybody else was just telling on each other. Sean and Wayne, they were the big ones for this one. Three days before the trial of the remaining gun trace task force officers, police commissioner Ken Davis was fired by the mayor. Imagine the mayor calling you up and you on good terms with the mayor. You just been sitting down trying to come up with a dissent decree. She'll talk about, hey, Kevin, your ass is fired. Kevin! Like, damn, mayor, I just got this position. The second in command, Deputy Commissioner Dean Palmer, was accused by a trial witness of coaching an officer in the police shooting. That was Momodu Gondo told on. You remember? At the time, he was a colonel. He went out there and told Jamel Rayam how to cover up a murder. He denied doing so and resigned the same day. What I tell you guys, when you have an official position, resign, step down. At this point, deputy commissioner, he's going to get a nice little check for the rest of his life for just being a deputy commissioner. Now, they said Kevin Davis, he's a commissioner. A commissioner or chief or somewhere in Virginia. We're going to check that out. But if you work a regular 9 to 5, go ahead and step down and file for unemployment. Don't let them fire you. Because when they fire you, you don't be getting unemployment. Not saying run up that unemployment. I was on unemployment when I got out the military for like 4 months. But, man, if you don't need it, get a job. Use unemployment for the right reasons, people. Don't be out here running up the damn unemployment fund. And then they talk about, when's an extension coming? Nigga, never. You done did a whole year of unemployment. You ain't look for a job once. You on there lying about putting in, I look for a job. Nah, man, you ain't look for no job. Get your ass out there and find a job. You can go to the temp agency. They'll hire you today. Then we got the new commissioner, Commissioner Darryl De Sousa, who had approved the dismissal of a disciplinary case against Wayne Jenkins 3 years earlier, will reinstate the plainclothes unit. Like, nigga, what? We just had the gun trace task force go down. He would resign in 4 months after being convicted of federal tax evasion. Oh my goodness. Now, all of these people are new to me. You see how we went on a deep spiral with Marilyn Mosby. Now I got to find out about all these commissioners. I got to do a little bit of digging. Yeah, now I got to go back and find all these names and figure out how much jail time they got and also what other dirty stuff you guys were doing as cops. I ain't want to do it. These officers made me do it. A year later, Mayor Catherine Pugh pleaded guilty to conspiracy, tax evasion, and fraud. She was sentenced to 3 years. Well, guess what? Marilyn Mosby is about to get the same thing, but the only thing is they've been stealing from funds, and it's her and her husband. So if the mayor got 3 years and you were the DA locking niggas up for doing the same shit you were doing, you were going to get at least 5 years. Now, if I'm the judge, I'm looking at around like 7 to 10. But I ain't the judge, so they're going to probably give you about 5. And that's only if you guys go ahead and plead guilty to some stuff. Now, your husband, on the other hand, he ain't got that money that was a gift that came back to him. That's a whole nother story. His ass is going down for at least 10 to 12. That's just facts. And in September, we're going to come back, Marilyn Mosby. As the only two officers to go to trial in federal court, Daniel Herschel and Marcus Taylor were convicted and sentenced to 18 years apiece. Now, this is what it looks like to hold it down. They went in there. Herschel said, I'm going to take it to trial. What Young Thug say? Fuck it, we going to take it to trial. Unfortunately for Young Thug, he ain't getting out. But Daniel Herschel got 18 years. Marcus Taylor got 18 years. So this is 2017, 2018. So 2036. 2036, probably 2030, they'll probably end up getting out. So they only got about 7 years left, 8 years. You know what I'm saying? No, it probably about 9. No, hell no. 18 is 36. Oh, yeah, they staying into about 32. So they got about 10 years. They got about 10 years left. That ain't that bad. They can knock that out. Look at Gondo. We know he got 10 years. Look at Sergeant Allers, goofy ass. Since 2015, the city has averaged well over 300 slayings a year, becoming one of the most violent cities in the United States. That's ridiculous. 300 slayings a year. They take 2 months off out there. That's it. 60 days, 65 days. 2 months of no killing. That's ridiculous, man. That's fucking ridiculous. Let me see. So the cops had to find cuts while she was stealing funds. Man, everybody up to the mayor was crooked. Now, who's the governor of Maryland? The governor of Maryland does a pretty good job, though. I give him credit. He does a good job. I think he was a Republican, ain't he? But the stuff he was talking about last year, he was doing a good job. He was doing a good job. I give him credit for that. Let me see something. Okay, we about to find out where everybody is. What up, Black Vibes? Yeah, this was the last episode. It was a 6-part series. But right now, what we're going to do, unless you guys got somebody you want to talk about, I want to, dive into Kevin. I be calling him Ken. I want to look up Kevin Davis, where he's at now. Here we go. All right, so it takes us there. A year after Kevin Davis was fired, here's how Baltimore got to this point in police commissioner search. Blah, blah, blah. In January last year, Baltimore, Catherine Pugh announced she was firing the city police commissioner, Kevin Davis. Though Davis' successor, Darryl De Sousa, sailed through his confirmation progress just after months on the job, he resigned amid claims he failed to file his tax returns. What? How hard is it to file your fucking taxes, bro? They get you with tax evasion just for not filing them, bro. Even if you go back a year later and file them, it's less than you might have to pay $30,000, $40,000, but you ain't going to jail. Come on. In contrast to De Sousa, Pugh's next pick for the top cop faced a bumpier road. Fort Worth Police Chief Joel Fitzgerald was met with skepticism over his record in Texas and elsewhere. God damn! Baltimore? What the fuck is going on? You had the police commissioner, Kevin Davis. He got fired. The deputy commissioner got tax evasion. Then the new commissioner, he got tax evasion. Then the new commissioner, Fort Worth Police Chief Joel Fitzgerald, he had skepticism. I can't even say it right. Skepticism over his record in Texas. And y'all niggas are just hiring crooks. They said, let me go down to the local fuck up county. Okay, you were fucking up last year. You get a job. You're fired because you're going to jail. You were fucking up. You'll get a job. Oh, you were doing tax too? You fired. You'll get a job. These niggas went all the way to Texas and got this nigga Police Chief Joel Fitzgerald, who had skepticism over his record in Texas and elsewhere, not just in Texas, but elsewhere? God damn. Where you been fucking up, Texas? Is that it? Nah, I've been fucking up elsewhere. What the fuck is elsewhere? How many places is elsewhere? When I hear elsewhere, I'm thinking 3 or 4 different places. Hey, don't come over here and go elsewhere. That means not over there, elsewhere, nigga, somewhere else. On Monday, Fitzgerald withdrew from consideration after his 13-year-old suffered a medical emergency that required 2 rounds of brain surgery. The next day, Pugh announced that she would be nominating New Orleans Police Superintendent Michael Harrison as Baltimore's top cop. Now, top cop is the commissioner. But nearly after a year after Davis firing, the city still lacks a permanent police chief. What the fuck? So, listen to me. 1 year. 1 year, we got rid of Kevin Davis. We got rid of Paul Meir, the deputy commissioner. We got rid of Darryl De Sousa. The person, Joel Fitzgerald, we brought his ass up there. We had to get rid of his ass because he had skepticism, and then he just said it was his daughter's, you know what I'm saying, emergency, emergency medical, you know what I'm saying, okay, cool. But then after that, we hired Michael Harrison as the Baltimore's top cop. But we still lack a permanent police chief. My God, what the hell? What is this hiring process like? Come on in here. What did you do at your last job? Well, you know, I had 3 deaths. Fuck it, you're hired. What? Let's go down. Because now I'm on the mayor's ass. We thought Mayor Catherine Pug, whatever the fuck it is, you thought you was just gonna slide through here, didn't you? Just like Marilyn Mosby thought she was just gonna skate through here and we wasn't gonna dig a little bit deeper. But now we on your ass. Because in 1 year, it was 4 niggas and you didn't get shit done. But you got 3 niggas arrested. Well, 2 technically, because Kevin Davis, he got fired. But you got 2 niggas arrested. 1 nigga with a fucked up background. The other one had to get fired. Come on now. 4 people in 1 year? Let's go. January 19th, 2018. Mayor Catherine Pugh fired Baltimore's top cop, Kevin Davis, saying she had grown impatient, his inability to stir the heroic pace of killings in the city. Well, the police chief and commissioner ain't got no control over niggas in the street, white people in the street killing each other. Let's get that straight. The previous year had just ended with a 343 homicide, a per capita record, meaning when they do per capita, let's just say it's per capita, maybe 1,000 people. They're not going off 1,000, but they're just saying in each area, if you don't know what per capita is, it's just to measure everybody on the same playing field. If you got 100,000 people here and they got 500,000, they just take a percentage and that's the per capita. But 343 people were dead because of homicides. That was a per capita record. Now, I don't know if that was a per capita record for Baltimore or not. But Pugh named Deputy Commissioner Darryl De Sousa the top commander in Police Department Patrol Bureau as Davis' replacement. This is January 19th. February 26th, De Sousa, a career officer, breezed through the confirmation process. He was nominated as Baltimore's new police commissioner with a 14-1 vote. Basically, this 14-1 vote, we just need to get somebody in here. That's all that vote was. Now, there was one person that was smart that said, hell no. De Sousa, whatever the hell his name is, hell no. There was one person that was smart. One person said no. Whoever that one person is needs a promotion and a raise right now. May 10th, federal prosecutors charged De Sousa with 3 misdemeanor counts of failing to file federal taxes. Mayor Pugh initially expressed full confidence in De Sousa. Now, all this is going on May 10th. She's praising them. Full confidence in them. Well, the Fed said, you need to lose that confidence. Niggas ain't paid taxes. He's got to go. May 11th, the next day, revising course, Pugh announced she was suspending De Sousa with pay pending the resolution of the tax charger. So not only did the feds come and tell you that this nigga hasn't been paying taxes, you just locked up 9 niggas for tax evasion. overtime fraud. But you said we're just going to suspend this man with pay until we figure out what's going on. Well, the resolution is as long as you're paying this nigga ain't filing taxes. We got the proof right here. 3 misdemeanor accounts of tax evasion. And you're paying this guy suspension with full pay? What? What kind of sense does that make? You just got nine officers off the street. We just had the deputy commissioner. The deputy commissioner just got arrested for tax evasion. The same thing that the commissioner is now getting charged with. And you're saying keep him on and pay him, but suspend him? He's not paying taxes. He's not going to pay the taxes on the money you're giving him. Now it's looking, who is this one person right here? Who is this one person that said don't vote this nigga in? It was one person, 14-1. I don't know how much clearer I can make that for y'all, but one person, Baltimore's new police commissioner with a 14-1 vote. One person said, no, don't bring this new commissioner in here. Don't. I know De Sousa. I had a beer with this nigga the other day and he skipped out on the tab and it was just 2 beers. Don't vote this man in. Everybody's like, we need to get a commissioner in. This was rushed by Baltimore because they didn't want to look like they didn't have any leadership. That's all this was a rush to just throw somebody in office without doing no kind of background checks. The first thing anyone you want to do when you hire, first of all, whoa. First of all, when becoming a police officer, before joining the military, they got to run a background check on you. You don't just put somebody in as a commissioner. You got to run all that shit. This is the top cop of the whole city. You're supposed to see, are them taxes right? All right, he filed the taxes. You see what I'm saying? Like when he comes in, they got to look at it. All right, we got to set you up with this new pay. Oh, you're moving into a commission. They did none of that. It was just 14 people that said, let's get a new commissioner in. While one person said, no, man, we got to do a little bit more research. But all they did was he stepped down. Well, the mayor fired him and said, oh, just bring somebody in. That's because she didn't know what the fuck she was doing with the city. We know that she doesn't know what she's doing because she wasn't filing her taxes. This whole city was fucked up from the top. And the mayor was as high as it gets. Once the mayor goes down, everybody's going down. And the mayor was trying to cover her ass and get somebody in there so people wouldn't be looking at her. But now the feds are looking at it like, wait a minute. What did Erica say? Erica tell Leo? She said, Leo, I want to see. Leo said, no, let's go and get them 9 people right now so we can at least get a foundation. And what did that do? It opened up to the feds. Now the IRS is thinking, okay, if just these 9 member stole funds, there's got to be someone else with it. So now what are they doing? They open up an investigation on everybody. And everybody's getting slapped. Federal charges. That's because no one did anything. She's running around with a head cut off because you just got 9 officers implemented and indicted on federal charges. So now you got to look like, oh, I'm the mayor, I'm doing something. No, you can't rush things. Let's go. Because all this did was open up shit. That was May 11th. May 15th, De Sousa resigned amid revelations that federal prosecutors were probing deeper into his past. What did I just say? I didn't even need to read this to tell y'all that once one thing opens up, the feds are going to be on your dumb ass. They looking at everybody. Baltimore, you got to clean up now. You can't just be willy-nilly trying to cut corners. Nah, this nigga resigned because he knew the feds were about to be on your ass. So now you got to lawyer up and try to, oh, can we get an extension with the IRS? The feds are like, no, nigga, you tried it. You was going to walk into that new commissioner spot. You was going to continue to not pay your taxes and make way more money. That's what you were going to do. That's why the feds said, hell to the no, nigga. Nope. Amid revelations that the federal prosecutors were probing deeper into his past, Pugh announced a national search for his replacement. Now she's on TV. Please, come and help us. This is 5 days after she said, I'm in full confidence of him. 5 days later, this motherfucker talk about we need help out here. We need a new commissioner. What? Pugh announced a national search for his replacement and appointed Deputy Commissioner Gary Tuggle as an interim commissioner. Now, all right, simmer down, people, simmer down. Everybody in the nose, out the mouth. May 15th, we jumped to October 9th. So we had about 5 months of quietness. 5 months, ain't nothing going on. Ain't nothing going on in Baltimore right now. Make sure y'all hit that like button because ain't nobody giving you We Own This City like I'm giving you We Own This City. Not only do we take the characters and we break down them individually, we go into their boss, into their boss's boss, into their mayor. We doing it everybody. We don't care. We done already got the DA's ass. We getting on the mayor's ass. We getting on the commissioner's ass, the intern commissioner, the deputy commissioner. Everybody that has something to do with this, we getting on it. Make sure you hit that like button. I'm Momodu J. This is a safe spot. This is We Own This City, episode 6. This is just a little deep dive. This is a respectful place. I don't care what you talk about in the chat. As long as it pertains to We Own This City and not disrespectful, I don't care. We don't ask for donations over here. They are deeply appreciated. But the Cash App is at the bottom of the screen, MOEDOTJ, or you can hit the super chat. Like I said, we don't ask for them. They're deeply appreciated. All I ask for is a like and a subscribe if you're new. So let's get back into this. So after 5 months, Tamika got it, 5 months. We had 5 months of chill in Baltimore. Now, whew, all right, we got rid of all them. You can take your hat off. Whew. Y'all relax. We got 5 months of quietness. It looks like Baltimore is turning around. October 9th. After initially expressing his interest in the job, Tuggle withdrew his name from consideration from the position of permanent police commissioner. Wait a minute, hat back on. This nigga was the intern commissioner for 5 months. He said, fuck this. I don't want anything to do with this. Withdraw my name. I don't want to be permanent. I don't want to be nothing. I don't want anything. This is too much stress that I'm going to have to go through. But what Tuggle did, and I respect it, guess what he did, y'all? Tuggle withdrew his name, but guess what? I was the commissioner of the Baltimore City Police Department for 5 months. Now all he has to do is step down and he can go get that commissioner spot anywhere around the country. Because he wasn't fired, he wasn't arrested, he stepped down because it was just too much going on. But he got that 5 months. All you need is one. Well, technically you should get at least 3 months on there, but he has 5 months of experience as the police commissioner. He can go anywhere. Gary Tuggle is the only commissioner that played this right. Hey, you know how it is. You got to think about yourself. 10 days later, October 19th, a Baltimore-based Twitter account posted a photo of Fort Worth Police Chief Joel Fitzgerald with the caption, "The mayor's pick for Baltimore's next commissioner, Joel Fitzgerald." As if Fitzgerald was leaving for Baltimore, Fort Worth Mayor Bessie Price told a reporter it appears he has taken the police chief spot in Baltimore. He's done a good job in Fort Worth, and I wish him the best in his new position. Pug said she was still vetting candidates for the city's next police commissioner, would not confirm Fitzgerald was her pick, nor that he was being considered for the position. So right now, what is she doing? October 19th, May 10th. She learned from 5 months ago. You don't want to say I have full confidence in somebody because as of right now, your picking choices is horrible. October 24th, 5 days later, after previously stating that she wanted to have a candidate picked by Halloween, Pugh said was no longer guaranteed she would nominate a new police commissioner by the end of the month. That's because finally the advisors are on her ass like, hey, you don't need to be vetting nobody. We need to bring some experts in here to vet somebody. You see what I'm saying? We need to bring in let's bring in an FBI agent or somebody that's actually going to vet these people. Someone from an outside source. Commissioner is going to be right up under you, Mayor. They got to come talk to you, just like the fire chief. They got to come and talk to you. The fire commissioner, all of them, they got to come and talk to you. So they're going to be directly up under you. And right now, you're 0 for 5. You're 0 for 5 right now. So I don't know what you want us to do, ma'am, but you need to bring in someone else. Next month, November 17th, following a secretive search, Pugh announced that Fitzgerald will be the next Baltimore police commissioner, pending by the city council. So you see this? In less than a month, she went from being quiet to vetting somebody when they already put out that that Fitzgerald was going to be the police commissioner. She talking about, well, if he's approved by the city council, cool. 1 month later, De Sousa, I don't know, I'm gonna call him De Sousa. De Sousa pleaded guilty to 3 counts of felon to file federal tax return. He faces as much as 3 years in prison and a $300,000 fine. He was sentenced in March 2019. So we bring it in the year, January 3rd. Here we go, y'all. I told you, keep the hat on, because Baltimore just doesn't give a damn. Shout out to the people in Baltimore. Not the mayor, not the commissioner, none of them, though. January 3rd, an investigation by the Baltimore Sun found that Fitzgerald overstated and misrepresented some of his accomplishments in his resume submitted in his bid to become the Baltimore Police Commissioner. Now, Fitzgerald postponed plans to come to Baltimore for a round of public hearings after his son suffered a medical emergency. Now, this is January 3rd, right? January 3rd, right? Let's backtrack a little bit. I don't know if people were paying attention or not. But January 3rd, Fitzgerald lied about everything pretty much on his resume, allegedly. But October 19th, the mayor said she's still vetting candidates. So what vetting are you doing when we find out fucking October, November, December, January? 3 months later, that this nigga lied about everything. What did you bet, Mayor? What did you bet? This all comes back to you. What did I tell y'all back in October, November? I said we need to get somebody, an outside source, to vet these people. All you had to do, mayor in Texas, did this nigga Fitzgerald do everything that he said he did on this resume? The mayor's going to tell you, no, he didn't. No, I don't remember that. No, he didn't. Okay. He wasn't the commissioner down there. Why? Why would you hire this nigga? You looking at this resume. Now, yeah, people do fluff up their resume. Fluff is different than lying. Fluff is different than lying. If you go in there and say, I managed 10 people and it was like 8, that's just fluff. But if you go in there and say, I managed 8 niggas and I saved 6 of them one time because of a fire, when they go back and do the investigation, it was a fire that was put out by a fire extinguisher and they see that your ass is lying. Nigga, that's lying. There's a difference between fluff and lying. You putting on there, I can type 50 words a minute and it's more like 47. Okay, that's a little bit of fluff. Every now and then I can hit 50. But you go in there and talk about, yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? I could do a hell of a job, 100 words a minute. And then they see your ass in there typing with one finger like, you going, hey. And I was going to say you going to jail, but you ain't getting the job. They firing your ass. 2 days later, January 5th, at one city council hearing, residents expressed their frustrations over the selection process. Some urged the city council to reject the nomination and force the mayor to start the selection process over. January 7th, Fitzgerald removed his name from consideration from the position of the Baltimore Police Commissioner because his son's medical condition. He's using that medical condition as an excuse. No, nigga, you pulled your name because you lied, and we found out that you were lying. And what did the whole city say? Some urge the city council to reject it and start over. They want you to start over. Jeez Louise. How fucked up? Like, let me ask y'all something. When you go to work and you do something bad, you might mess up once. You might go back and get it revised twice, maybe even 3 times. They done looked over your work. But if you come back for 5 fuck ups and you got to do it for a 6th time, they on your ass. There's no excuse for 6 fuck ups. At some point, you need to stop and ask for help. That's just common sense. If I mess up one time and I go to my boss and like, hey, boss, I got this. And they're like, oh, you messed up here. I'm asking them right there on the spot. Okay, so if you say I did that wrong, what do I need to do to get to this point? And we're okay. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying, sir. I'm going to go work on this and I'm going to bring it back. You don't just say, all right, you fucked up here, and you go take it back and try to figure it out on your own. You ain't going to get nothing done. This lady messed up 5 people, and they wanted to go back and look for a 6th. But let's go. Let's go. Because Fitzgerald redrew his name on the 7th. Guess what? Hold on. Guess what? Hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like button. Guess what? Fitzgerald withdrew his name on the 7th. On the 8th, Puig announces she's nominating New Orleans Police Superintendent Michael Harrison as the next police commissioner. The city council, the people of the city just told your dumbass. Yeah, I said it, dumbass. They said redo the selection process. January 5th. We don't want this nigga as a commissioner. Please redo. They urged the city council reject the nomination. Force the mayor to start the process over. On the 7th, this nigga said, I'm withdrawing my name from consideration, even though we know he lied. The next day, what kind of vetting is she doing that it took one day after a nigga that lied on his resume, you can just, New Orleans police superintendent, we want it. How? Where's the vetting at? What did I just tell y'all? You can't fuck up 6 times. You got to ask for help. You got to stop. One day after the previous guy that was lying told you he's withdrawing his name, you hire a nigga? What? I should have put my name in for police commissioner if that's what they were doing. That's what they doing. Hell, the next Baltimore police commissioner, Momodu J. They gonna look at my resume and they, hey man, resume intensive. What you? Damn, you did this. So when you was a police chief, y'all put up. Damn, y'all lowered the murder rate from 343 to 2. Okay. Oh, and both of those were manslaughter. They weren't even real murder. Okay, you didn't took $13 million worth of drugs off the street. Damn, this nigga Mo is the best commissioner ever. They gonna hire me off tops. I'm coming in there. How's it going, Mayor? Yes, I could do a good job as the police commissioner. Like, nigga, no. In 1 year, we just broke down what the mayor did in 1 year. January 19th, 2018 to fucking January 8th, 2009. Oh my God, nigga. Oh. We would have never known this. I would have never known Baltimore was like this, man. I really do feel sorry for anyone that lived in Baltimore during these times. I'm not sure how Baltimore is ran right now, but golly, this was some shit right here. You got families being harassed by the cops. You got a mayor just bringing in corruption after corruption after corruption after corruption after corruption after corruption. Everybody's getting fired for the same damn thing. Ain't no one paying their taxes. All these niggas is robbing. And the crazy thing is, our taxes were paying all these niggas' salaries, and they were just not paying taxes. Fitzgerald talking about, I withdrew because of my son's medical condition. No, nigga. You withdrew because you were lying. No, it was my son. No. No. Because, let me see something. You withdrew your name January 7th. You were going to ride this out as long as possible, right? This is January 7th, right? You were going to ride this out. So, you know what I'm saying? So you could try to potentially get the job, right? But January 3rd, we found out that your ass was lying. When was your son's medical conditions, Fitzgerald? Because I'm thinking you using that as an excuse because we called your ass out. Because from what I was reading, the mayor down in Texas said that you was going up there. The mayor in Texas said you was going to Baltimore. It was a done deal. It was a done deal until we found out you were lying, and then you talking about, oh, let me go ahead and remove my name. I ain't never seen no shit like this before. We're gonna go into some free time because I'm upset. Look at this goofy ass nigga. Ain't doing your taxes. Yeah, we on your ass, Daryl. Look at him. Hey, my name is Daryl. Yeah, okay, Daryl. Oh, let's go read about this fool too, because he should be out of jail by now. 3 years, 2018, 21. Former Baltimore Police Department Commissioner Darryl De Sousa lessons learned. Shares lessons, regrets after spending time in prison on tax fraud. I got a lesson for you. Pay your taxes, nigga. There ain't no lesson to learn, nigga. Regrets after spending time in prison for tax fraud. Dog, you the police commissioner. What do you mean? What do you mean regrets? It ain't no regrets. You fucked up. That's not a regret. A regret is not taking a picture in front of this. Like, oh man, look at this ocean. I regret not taking a picture of that. Regretting not paying your taxes isn't a regret. That's a fuck up. There's two differences between a fuck up and a regret. I regret not going live on YouTube earlier with my channel. That's not a fuck up. I just regret not doing it. Now I'm still doing good now, but you going to prison for tax fraud, that ain't no regret, nigga. That was you fucking up on purpose. You talk about I ain't gonna pay my taxes, nigga. What? You thought with all that money you bringing in, you just wasn't gonna pay taxes. That's what you thought. When niggas is getting jammed up making $30,000 a year for not paying taxes, your job is to put them in jail. But you thought I'm gonna skate through this. Yeah, okay, okay. On November 11, 2020, former Baltimore Police Commissioner Darryl De Sousa walked to freedom after spending 275 days in federal prison in New Jersey. 275 days, nigga. 275 days. You making it seem like you was in there for fucking years, nigga. You got 3 years. You did 275 days. You didn't even do a whole year talking about regrets. Nigga. No, we on your ass, De Sousa. De Sousa. Let's see something. 275 divided by 60. I mean, not 60, but 30. Nigga, you did 9 months. You did 9 months in prison. Talk about, man, I got some regrets, man. I walked out of prison. He over there, his family hugging him and shit. If I'm the IRS, I'm like, nope, nigga. While you was in prison, you ain't paid no taxes, nigga. You ain't paid none. I'm looking at your wife's taxes right now. Matter of fact, you come on out. We're going to put her ass in there. Yeah, y'all just going to switch places. That's what it is. It was a TV show on TLC, Trading Places. That's what we about to do. You come on out. We're going to put your wife ass in there. Talking about a regret. Nigga, you spent 9 months in prison for tax evasion and tax fraud. De Sousa pleaded guilty to felon to file federal tax returns for 3 years. Nigga didn't file taxes for 3 years and he regret that? No, nigga, you were doing that shit on purpose. All you hear is when tax day come around, April 15th, make sure you have your taxes. H&R Block, get your taxes done. TurboTax, get your taxes done. This nigga just wasn't paying them. This nigga said, fuck it, 3 years. 3 years, pay taxes. Pay taxes. What the fuck? Y'all don't take taxes out. Like when I look at my pay stub, it say taxes was already taken out. I ain't paying this shit. The fuck? I ain't paying these taxes. 3 years? 3 years? I ain't paying that shit. Who paying taxes? I ain't. Like what? Come on, man. You the police commissioner. He looks back with regret for failing his high command and calling to be a police officer. No, you didn't, nigga, because you did it for 3 years. Vic Carter, does it bother you that you are no longer a commissioner? Actually, it bothers me more, or it hurts me a little bit more to know that I'm not on the job. So not necessarily the rank of commissioner, just the rank of a police officer. You know, just being an officer. Nigga, we ain't trying to hear that, nigga. You went to jail. You was a police commissioner. You was at the tippity top. It don't get no higher than this. Talking about just the rank of a police officer. If that was the case, you would have been paying your taxes then. If you wanted to be a police officer. Carter, does it make you angry that this happened? De Sousa. Well, you know, I'm angry at myself. I'm angry at myself more than anybody because I felt as though I let so much on the table. And I don't mean just as the role as commissioner. That felt like I just left a lot on the table in terms of community and just Baltimore, my passion. Shut your ass up. All that bullshit you talking. I'm angry at myself. I'm angry at myself more than anybody. Nigga, there's no one else you could be angry at. There's no one else you could be angry at. You didn't pay your taxes. That W-2 came in your ass every year and you looked at that shit and ripped it up. I feel like I just left a lot on the table in terms of community and just Baltimore. Nigga, you didn't love Baltimore. You wasn't paying taxes on the taxes we were paying to pay your ass. Nigga, you don't love us. The fuck you talking about? Your passion is Baltimore. If that was your passion, you would have clearly been paying your state taxes, your federal taxes. So Baltimore could get cleaned up a little bit. We won't be worrying about that budget. Maybe if you and the other commissioner and the mayor and the DAs was all paying y'all taxes, we wouldn't have to go cut budgets from the police officers. We wouldn't have to go cut budgets from the schools because we'd be having more taxes coming in. But obviously we don't have taxes to do that shit because y'all niggas ain't paying the taxes that we pay the taxes to pay you. There's no what? My passion in terms of the community. Nigga, you was robbing the community, nigga. Carter, do you owe the people of Baltimore an apology? Absolutely. Absolutely. Carter said, well, give us one, nigga. When he said, do the people deserve an apology? It should have been absolutely. You should have came out with the apology. But guess what? We don't give a fuck because watch how I'm about to read this shit. I'm about to read it just like a nigga that got out of prison. Man, Baltimore City, I apologize for letting y'all down. Man, I wish I would have stayed on the job, but shit, fuck it. I probably would have stayed on the job as long as air was in my lungs. Shit, still in my lungs. I apologize for letting y'all down. We don't care. We don't care about that half-ass apology. You don't care. All you care about is I got out of jail in 9 months. He probably still gets his pension because we know that his ass was, what was he? He was paid and suspended until the whole case was resolved. So that was at least a couple months. He getting money. He didn't care. Carter, describe for us the day that you received word that you were being indicted and that you were in real trouble. De Sousa talking about. Well, I received a call telling me to come down and meet with some investigators. And to be honest, I thought it was a reference to some, investigation citywide or something internally in the police department. And when I found out and I sat down with the investigators, I found out it was about me. When they said, we have a misdemeanor federal arrest warrant for you. To me, you had those out-of-body experiences. Like, did you just say that? Or I didn't understand. You knew exactly what they said when they said motherfucking misdemeanor federal arrest warrant for your ass. You knew exactly what they was coming for. Them fucking taxes for 3 years. That's what they were coming for. You knew what they were coming for. He talking about, I didn't understand it. You knew exactly what was going on. Don't you be giving me that shit. We all know when we did something fucked up and we talking to some investigators, we like, what the hell did I do? We know we did something wrong. Come on now. They're talking about out-of-body experience. It's out-of-body, all right. You about to be out of that uniform and into a prison uniform, nigga. That's only out-of-body you getting. In a court testimony, a friend said part of De Sousa's demise was credited to his desire to care for his ailing parents in New York. Working long days, he would drive back to New York, handling police business while there, and funding every aspect of his parents' lives. Wait a minute. So you not paying your taxes is funding taking care of your parents. How that work? So you just saying once a year, because listen to me, y'all, listen to me. You ain't filed your taxes for 3 years. So you saying once a year, whatever you would have paid on your taxes, you were just going to drop that bag on your parents? Maybe, let's just say he was in the, in the upper, over 150,000 a year. Let's just say that was what he was doing. Your taxes, maybe 5 to 10,000. So what are you saying? Just once a year, you just drop the bag on your parents because you wasn't paying your taxes? That don't make no sense. And what it's telling me is your ass wasn't doing no real work because guess what? Your friend said your demise was credited to his desire to care for his ailing parents in New York. Get them motherfuckers somebody in the house to come and watch them. working long days. He would drive back to New York, handling police business while he was there. What police business is a fucking commissioner handling in New York goddamn city when your city is Baltimore, nigga? What are you doing? How are you doing that? You driving up here on the computer doing some work, taking care of your parents while working a full day? Ain't nobody working that goddamn hard. If your parents are really that ailing, most of the time you would have paid leave that you need to go take care of your parents. You are a police commissioner. That's what they have a deputy commissioner for, to step up and do the shit while you gone. If you needed to take care of your family, that's what they would have done. Now, were you taking care of your family the whole 3 years you wasn't paying taxes? Was it just 1 year? Why you didn't give us the whole story? Why you didn't say the whole 3 years I wasn't paying my taxes? Because it's not making sense to me. Taxes are taken out of your check, but you have to pay taxes. That's why I always tell people with federal and state, if you got to pay state taxes, you go in there to your W-2 and you tell them you want to take out like $50 to $100 extra each month. So when taxes are due, you don't have to pay any taxes. I mean, you still got to file your taxes. There's a difference between paying taxes and filing taxes. You still have to file your taxes, but you won't owe any money because you got more money taken out of your check. So what are you saying? What are you saying? For 3 years, you weren't paying your taxes and just bringing the money? That's not making sense to me. And I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a Fed or anything, but it doesn't make sense to me. I've been paying taxes for the last 18 years. I know that you got to file them at least. You wasn't even doing that. That's crazy. De Sousa. Carter, when the time comes for you to go to prison, please describe that day. De Sousa, good friends and loved ones drove me to New Jersey. And to me, that drive seemed like it was an 8-9 hour drive, when in reality it was 2 hours. First of all, that drive should have been short and sweet for your ass. We heard that you were working long days and going from Baltimore to New York. New Jersey is right across the bridge. Nigga, don't tell me it felt like no 8 to 9 hours. You know how long it was, Mr. Tax Evasion, Mr. Tax Fraud. Yeah, you know how long that ride was, nigga. It wasn't no 8 to 9 hours. Your ass, hey, how fast you be getting up to New York on your days off? How fast you get up to New York after working a long day to go take care of your ailing parents? You should have been driving that fast to get your ass up to New Jersey, nigga, and serve that jail time. That's what you should have been doing. But everybody got it now. Now look, we talked about the good times. We talked about the bad times. Nigga, there is no good times. This is all bad times for your ass. These last 3 years have been very bad. These 9 months you about to serve about to be even badder, because we on your ass. Now, every time somebody fuck up, now we got to go to the Bible. We read scriptures. We pulled up to the institution. So y'all in the car riding. Y'all cruising. You know what I'm saying? Sweet home Alabama. You going to jail. I'm coming back to you. Like, no, nigga. We ain't reading no scriptures. We about to turn on some music or something, nigga. You going to jail. We ain't going to jail, nigga. And this ain't even no real jail sentence. Nigga, you driving yourself to the institution. He didn't say prison, y'all. You hear that? He didn't say prison. He drove himself to the institution. He ain't getting no real time. 9 months in the institution. No, nigga, we listening to music. We ain't about to be listening to no damn scriptures of you crying about shit that you did, nigga. We know you wasn't taking care of our parents. Hell, Pawpaw had a retirement fund. We know Pawpaw had money. Hell, Big Mama, she was still around the house moving around. She was actually taking care of Pawpaw. All you was doing was going up there and chilling. Dad, we know what the fuck was going on. Talking about reading some scriptures. No, nigga, it's too late for that. You better take that scripture and read it while you in jail. We about to listen to some music. Because, nigga, we got to drive your dumb ass 2 hours up here for not paying taxes. And we got to drive our dumb ass all the way back down to motherfucking Baltimore in the morning, nigga. We might stop over Pawpaw house. But shit, I don't even want to see that nigga. I'm trying to go back home. We got to go out our way because of you. You talking about, man, we read scriptures. No, nigga, we ain't reading nothing. You reading them scriptures in your head, nigga. We pulled up to the institution. And the first thing you see is the gates. You see a prison. You see the gates. You see the fence. You see the barbed wire. And that's when you say, wow, this is prison. This world. This is what I'm going to spend the next 10 months in. Nigga, shut up. Talking about, wow, nigga, you're doing 10 months, nigga. The first month in process and the last month out process. And nigga, you were a deputy. I mean, you was a police commissioner. You wasn't doing shit. You were walking around with all the injured niggas. Your ass protected as hell. Talking about 10 months, nigga. I would have been there. I would have been on your ass, deputy. Or De Sousa, wherever your name is, talking about 10 months. How much time you got, commissioner? Oh, just 10 months. Okay, we're going to make that a little bit longer. We on your ass, nigga. And as soon as I got on the on the outside of the Sally Port inside the medium facility, turned and looked at my friends and loved ones who were still there. You know that nigga cried. I gotta do 10 months. I just wanted them to know that I was strong enough. So I waved goodbye, stood tall, had my head held up, and no, just out to let them know I will be okay. I'm sitting over here looking at De Sousa like, shut your bitch ass up and get your ass in that prison, nigga. Talk about I'm strong enough. Nigga, you ain't got no other option but to be strong. Go in there, you could be weak all you want. You could be strong, you could be weak, nigga. You still gotta go in there. Being strong and holding your head tall don't mean nothing. Got in there, nigga, slap the hell out of you. Carter, you're a police officer entering a prison filled with people who were put there by police officers. Are you concerned for your safety at all? De Sousa, 100%. Yes, 100%. I mean, that's reality. I'm kind of a hard-headed in a way. I was so frustrated at myself. I didn't care what happened to myself. That's the posture at the onset. But I knew that the Lord was going to take me. He was going to carry me through. I knew I was going to be safe in his arms. You just knew you was going to be safe in the Lord's arms, didn't you? But you didn't pay none of your taxes. You just said, the hell with the Lord. The Lord talking about you need to go donate some to the church, got to give some to the pastor. You said, I ain't paying my taxes. The Lord got me. But just a minute ago, you told us you held your head tall. You went in there and you said you were strong. Now you talking about the Lord got you. Which one is it? Were you in there strong or the Lord got you, nigga? Which one is it? Which one is it? Nigga, you was in a medium facility. We know wasn't nobody on your ass. We know you wasn't in general population. You out here. I'm gonna stand tall. Like, nigga, shut up. You wasn't standing tall. Your ass was crying, nigga. When they set your ass down in there, we know what went down, nigga. You cried in the car on the way up there. You tried to read scriptures, getting tears on the Bible, talking about, I'm going to keep this near and dear. No, nigga, you about to go do 10 months. Your bitch ass. Carter, do you want to be a cop again? De Sousa, I'd love to. I love to know that nothing is not going to happen. Short of that, and I still want to help the community. I'm still going to be an advocate for the community. I'm not going to wear a badge. I wear a suit, brother. I still want to be that person who advocates for safety in the community. No, nigga, you need to be the person telling people to file their taxes. That's what you need to be doing. You need to be telling people, hey, come on over here. We file taxes for free for the low, you know what I'm saying, the low income. You see what I'm saying? That's what you need to be doing. You don't need to be an advocate to the streets, nigga. We don't even know what you did as a cop. All we know is you wasn't paying your taxes. If you're going to help us out with something, help us get some funding into the city so we can pay our taxes. So we don't have to pay our taxes. Maybe come up with a fund where people that owe, let's say, under like $500, y'all pay their taxes for them. Why don't you do some shit like that instead of just being an advocate in the suit because you're still making money and you want to keep that image? We know how it is. We know how it is. But they ain't going to tell you no shit like that. Hey, Trill, wasn't nobody on this line. Wasn't nobody on this line in that prison. I would have been in that prison. I would have walked up to and said, what you doing in here, Commissioner? Oh, man, attack her. Bow! Well, nigga, I don't give a fuck, nigga. You got me locked up. Nigga, in the little 3 months your ass was on the job. Nigga, talking about standing tall. Come stand tall. Hey, come back here in these showers. Come stand tall. Pause. I'm talking about whooping his ass. Y'all talking some other shit. But come back in these tall, the motherfucking showers and stand tall, Commissioner. Let's see you stand tall and see if the Lord carry you through. He gonna carry you through all right. He gonna carry your ass on a stretcher. Carter, restrictions are in place. You can't be a cop. That is correct. Does that hurt you? Yes, of course. But those restrictions need to be in place. While in prison, De Sousa claimed his fears by journaling, capturing his thoughts on paper every day at 6 a.m. in the prison chapel. What did I just tell y'all? What did I just show y'all? I know niggas like this. He wasn't doing no standing tall. All that shit he was talking sounds good in the interview. I'm gonna stand tall. No, nigga, your ass was in there in fear, crying, nigga, going into church, writing every day at 6 a.m. I was in basic training. I wrote maybe once every fucking other week, nigga. You in this motherfucking crying, nigga, in the prison chapel. The chaplain's like, man, what the hell are you doing in here crying, nigga? You got 10 months. Ain't no one gonna touch you in here. But what did I tell y'all though? As soon as a nigga fuck up, they go to them scriptures. This was his last entry. He was released on November 11th. My theme for that day was wounded, but not broken. Yeah, they were wounding your ass in there, all right? They ain't break you because you only had 10 months. If you would have did that whole 3, they would have broke your ass. It's over. I made it. Praise the him. I praise the Lord with all of my heart. It was a difficult journey, but God pulled me through. I was lost. I didn't understand why. It wasn't until I grasped. I must trust in the Lord with all of my heart. I understood I needed this journey to build on my weakness while I left my strength at home. Now, let me break all that shit down because this nigga is just talking right now. Last sentence, while I left my strength at home. What did the brother just tell us? This nigga just told us he was standing strong when he was at the front gate. He turned around, pounded up niggas like it's only 10 months. It ain't nothing. Nigga, stop lying. I said it's over. I praise the Lord with all my heart. It was a difficult journey, but God pulled me through. No, God didn't pull you through. God just watched your ass go through some dumb shit that you allowed the devil to put you in for not paying your taxes. Don't be bringing the Lord into this shit. The Lord, if you were doing what the Lord wanted you to, you would have paid them taxes now, wouldn't you? But no, you doing what the devil did because you did that shit for 3 years. Now you talking about I must trust in the Lord and in all my heart. Where was all that trust at them last 3 years? Talking about I left my strength at home. No, nigga, you were tough. That's what you told us. That was tough. I looked at my family, held my head high, and I went into them gates like it is what it is. No, nigga, you was in the chapel crying. That's what you was doing. Many sad days. Many days of feeling lonely and hurt. Little did I know that God was by my side each and every day. His angels remained on my shoulders. The Lord's presence lifted me from the darkest days into the light. Yeah, you thought he was bringing you into the light until you heard the damn CEO talk about lights out, nigga. It's over with. It's over with. Lights out, nigga. Give me that paper. What you got? What you got? Give me that paper, boy. Tear that shit up. What you writing? Let me see that notebook. Hey, you about to get out of here, De Sousa? Yeah, man, I'm about to get out of here. Man, you know me. It's my last day. I'm writing this motherfucker. I would have came on and said, let me see that. Let me see what you writing. Okay. Some of your darkest days. He carried you to the nigga. We don't give a fuck, nigga. We know you was in here crying, talking all that shit. We taking the whole notebook and tearing that motherfucker up. You ain't getting out this thing. Lights out, nigga. You got one more night. Talking about the Lord carry me through. Well, the Lord show ain't put you in there. You put yourself in there. See what else this nigga talking about. Look at this nigga. He done grew his braids out in there. Had niggas in there braiding them up. So what's next for Darryl De Sousa? He said he is working on a document. Nigga, we don't want no documentary. Don't nobody want to hear shit you got to say, nigga. He said he is working on the documentary and other media projects, and he has developed an app. Let me see. I'm about to download this fucking app. We about to see what this dumb shit is. He said he is working on a documentary and other media projects, and he has developed an app, the details of which cannot be released. I hope y'all paying the taxes on that app. That's what I hope. Release those details. Let us see how much money the app is making so we can make sure you found the proper taxes on that shit. Also, he plans to be active in the community. He has completed over 100 hours of community service. This nigga got 9 months and 100 hours of community service. Hey, man. Can y'all believe this shit? Would we have ever known about De Sousa's crooked ass? De Sousa, De Sousa, De whatever the hell it is. De in jail, that's his name. Nah, man, if he better not have no jail. Let me see if he got a jail picture with these braids. Man, this man ain't got a picture with Obama. Well, bro, he over here getting sworn in. His kids don't even know they daddy a crook. They don't even know his daddy a crook. They over here, yeah, dad, that's cool. Look at the little girl, all cute and stuff. Little does she know, this mayor's going to jail and your daddy going to jail. Two criminals standing next to each other. Don't even know it. Look at that, this close as hell. I swear to tell the truth, nigga. No, you don't, cause I'm not telling the truth, and I'm the one that's swearing you in. How you gonna have a mayor that's doing wrong swearing in a nigga that's doing wrong? What kind of sense does that make? Both of these, he talking about the Lord carried me through, but he put his hand on the Bible and did not abide to anything the Bible was talking about. Baltimore's new top cop. He's over here. Look at her ass. Look at her. You thinking, oh, that's good. We got a black crooked as hell. Her ass ain't paying no taxes either. Get her ass in jail too. I might do a breakdown on your crooked ass too. Because we done already broke down in your year of fuck ups. 6 fuck ups in 1 year. Any other job you mess up 6 times in 1 year on the same project and task, your ass is fired. It ain't no coming back. You done fucked up 6 times. Each and every one of them was horrible. There was only one good one. It was Tuggle, and he got the fuck up out of there because he said, nope. This mayor don't seem right. All these other commissioners are stepping down. I'm done. I don't want no parts of it. Crooked ass. Boy, I'm glad this show came out because I got exposed to a lot of nonsense that was going on in Baltimore. Like I say, man, to the people in Baltimore, man, shout out to y'all. But man, I know it was tough with all this bullshit y'all had going on, man. And it really wasn't y'all problem. Like, you know, you hear people saying, oh, I wasn't doing nothing. Cops was fucking. They was really doing this out here, man. That's it. It's free time. It's free time. Yeah, whatever y'all got, man. Whatever y'all got. I don't even know if I want to do the breakdown of Shine now because I'm just, boy, if I'd have lived in Baltimore and all this was going on, man, I'd have to move because I'd be on their ass. I'm sorry. Now, not out in the streets or nothing, you know what I'm saying? Because I ain't trying to get pop or hit or nothing, but shit, man, I'd be on this motherfucker talking so much shit to these niggas. Elected officials, bro. That's who y'all be voting on, man. Y'all, they thought Catherine Pug was doing the damn thing. They thought Pug was doing the thing. Oh, Pug, go girl, do your thing. We got us a black mayor. We got us a woman mayor. Find out her ass crooked. We got a black DA. Yeah. Found out her ass is crooked. We got a new black commissioner. Yeah. Found out he crooked. God damn. We got 9 niggas arrested. Found out 6 of them were black. God damn. Crooked. What the fuck? Come on, y'all. I know we be fucking up, but we fucking up. Jeez Louise. And I'm sure we can, if we had more time, it's just I seen Darryl De Sousa's name and I had to go in on him. I wanna dig into deputy commissioner. That's what I want to dig into. Pause. And this nigga Joel Fitzgerald. That's who we need to. Let me find out who the fuck Joel Fitzgerald is. Whoa, wait a minute. Joel Fitzgerald was a nigga too. God damn. What the fuck? Wait, is this him? Wait, is Joel Fitzgerald? Joel Fitzgerald, don't be black. Fort Worth Police Chief Joel Fitzgerald has been fired after incident in Washington, D.C. Nigga, what the fuck? Oh my God. Fort Worth Police Chief Joel Fitzgerald has been fired after incident in Washington, D.C. Earlier this, oh my God, no, nigga. Dallas Morning News. Ain't nobody subscribing to this shit. We just wanted information on, oh my God. This nigga was, oh man. Bruh. Oh my goodness. CBS News. Let's see. Former Fort Worth. Former Fort Worth. Hey. I'll fix it next time, bro. Police Chief Joel Fitzgerald faces backlash after bringing change in Iowa. Dog, what the fuck? Oh my goodness. I'm just trying to see if this is the same guy. I'm pretty sure it is. Council member Martin. Damn, let me see something. I think this is him, man. This is Fitzgerald, another black man fucking up. How did you get to the chief of police and fuck up? What the fuck? Court sides with former Fort Worth police chief and whistleblowers. Oh my God, nigga. Now we got a deep dive in your dumb ass. This is him. North Texas. Former Fort Worth police chief Joel Fitzpatrick, who is the first black chief in Waterloo, Iowa. What, nigga? This dude was doing outrageous work. He got reform in the department, including the removal of a longtime insignia that resembles of the Klan, Dragon, 16-month tenure, 67,000, the first black police chief. What did he do? What did he get fired for? This is a whole nother day, man. This is a whole nother day, bro. I'm not even about to read because it's about to be the same dumb shit. He was up here making change, worked his ass off, the first black police chief with the first black mayor, and felt like that's why he was getting attacked. This is my fourth coming job. Let me see. Dog. He wanna try. I'm not about to dig into him right now, y'all. Y'all gotta understand this. We almost at 4 hours, y'all. Not tonight, man. Not tonight. Let me know what y'all got though. Joel Fitzgerald. What did I tell you? Work your hardest and work your heart out. Go to Baltimore and throw it all away. This nigga was lying on his damn resume. You didn't even have to lie. You was up in Iowa making changes, bro. Your resume was already stacked. You got rid of the Klan symbol in a small town, bro. What are you doing? All right, man. Free time, y'all. man. Oh man. You wouldn't believe none of this stuff until you start like, what? Who is this? Let me go look and see what this nigga did. See, they don't even give you all the details, but we finding out Mo and Mo. Fitzgerald to step down. We found out your ass was fired. I mean, so you saying they trying to cover you up down in Fort Worth, but you lied on your resume going to Baltimore. Just ridiculous, bro. Just ridiculous. Shakar, do I watch Stranger Things? I watched the first season. I watched the second season. I couldn't get into any more after that. So I don't know what's going. Damn, I don't know what's going on with Stranger Things. Yeah, I'm done, Kendall. What's up with P Valley this Friday? So, all right, here's my schedule when it comes to P Valley. If if P Valley drops at midnight, June 2nd going into June 3rd, I'm gonna have the recap up June 3rd, and I'm just gonna have like a first live. I'm gonna have a first live that Friday night. But the live breakdown like this will be on Sunday because that's what days it's usually gonna come out anyway. So if it does come out Thursday night at midnight, then I'll have a recap up Friday, and I might go live for like an hour and have some guests on. But if not, Sunday for sure, we're gonna have a a live breakdown. So it should be good. I can't really do too many videos on P Valley as far as using like the promo videos and everything. Stars is smacking me every time I put something up. It's getting flagged. So I probably just have to do like. Even when I cut up the trailers and promo, I'm still getting hit with it. So I probably just have to use like how I normally do, make my own little slideshow out of it. I don't know why it's doing that shit, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? We'll make do. Yeah, Stars is hating. They hating, but you know what I'm saying? We ain't worried about it. Stars, if y'all watching, give me a job, man. Holla at me. Let me break some stuff down. Oh, Raising Canaan comes on in August. I thought it would have been in September, but August Raising Canaan be back on. You know we got the best power. Hey, don't nobody do power better than we do power. Now, we gotta give credit where credit is due. MovieBot and Mark Dark, they be on it. They be on it, especially MovieBot. That man is a legit bot. But don't nobody do power better than me do. And we go live. Don't nobody else be going live like we go live. So saying not discrediting anybody else, but yeah, saying come on over to Mo.J. We get things done right. You know what I'm saying? We don't fail to pay taxes. You know what I'm saying? We ain't corrupt over here. We ain't stealing money. We doing it big over here. Yeah, August 14th, I think it is. Is it August 14th? Yeah, August 14th. I think it is. Yeah, because it's the middle of the month. You know, on them Sundays, we're gonna have the, you know what I'm saying? Sundays, August 14th, we will be going live. Hopefully I'll move by then and everything's set up at least. But yeah, Raising Canaan season 2, August 14th, Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. So we about to have a nice little summer too. We're gonna have us a nice little summer. We got P Valley's gonna end right when because this is what, June. If they doing 8 episodes, June, July, they might have a little break for the 4th. So that'll push them back a week. And then BMF, I'm not BMF, but Raising Canaan the week after. Yeah. So that adds up. That adds up. Hey, we about to get it though. Nick said after all this time, they better be swinging from the ceiling. Well, you know, they got the C-19 restrictions and stuff, but they finally getting it let up. But yeah, we got that going on. Remember, you know what I'm saying? This is the family right here. This is the Moet. So just remember we might have an influx of people because when we do power, that's when we really be getting a lot of people coming in here. What was it? BMF, BMF, Ghost. What was the other one? Force. We were getting like 500-600. I think the most people we had in the live was 900. So I'm gonna make a couple more of y'all moderators because there's gonna be a lot of BS going on. But fuck it, we here now. Shakara said, hopefully we can get Force by early 2023. If everything goes right, it should be Raising Canaan August, September. So October it'll be BMF. October, November. They can probably do us a break. So we might get Force probably maybe like late November, maybe beginning of December, unless they wait to the New Year's, just so they can drop their stuff the first week of the New Year's and they can say, we got the #1 show of 2023. You know how that goes. You got to try to get the weekly ratings up. But we're going to see. We're going to see. Oh, man, we won't be talking about diamond at all on this channel. This is diamond free over here. No diamonds over here. We rubies, cubic zirconians, shit. What other stones? Rhinestones. We doing all that. We ain't talking about diamond over here. Don't nobody want to see no diamond. We don't want no diamond over here. You don't get no diamond. We get Miss Mississippi. We get Mercedes. We getting Autumn. We got some new girls. I'm supposed to be breaking their videos down probably tomorrow. We're gonna see. Also, I got my old recaps of all the episodes. They're up right now, so you can go back and watch those. Shit, pretty much it, man. Really gearing up for P Valley. I might do the Sean Suiter. We're gonna see, though. We're gonna see. It's gonna be a good time, man. It's gonna be a great summer. It's gonna be a real good summer. Make sure y'all send this link out if you're new to the channel. Hit the like button. That's all I ask for around here. And if you like the content, hit the subscribe button. Like I said, it's a friendly place. Mo and y'all the Moettes. Talk about whatever you want to in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I go in. Sometimes you might get a rant out of me. It just depends on how I'm feeling. But I try to be truthful and give you guys the facts. If you don't agree, that's fine. Let's debate it. But we ain't doing diamond on this show. Pause. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank y'all for tuning in. Cash App is at the bottom of the screen. Donations are deeply appreciated. Shout out to Neek. She be low-key during the week. Low-key during the week. Neek I be checking like, damn, Neek, you didn't bust me off a 20-piece? We eating good. I mean, not Neek. My bad. Kendall. My bad, it was Kendall. Yeah. Hey, Trill, aren't you going on vacation? Will we still be getting videos? Hey, videos is coming. Whether I'm on them or not, videos are coming. We gonna have, especially with P Valley going on, we gonna have recaps. So I might not be going live because y'all know my computer be tripping, but yeah, we gonna have some stuff. I got like 8 more vlogs I gotta put together for y'all, but vlogs are like the last thing on my mind at this point. But we got that. Y'all all have a good evening. Be safe. Tomorrow is Wednesday, hump day, the last day to work hard at work. And then remember, Thursday and Friday is basically the weekend. You just go into work and show up. Just show face. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good evening. If you like the content on the channel, I'm Momodu. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Thanks for watching. I'm out.